Chicago Local Access Cable Corporation presents Chardon Hilltopper football. Tonight it's the Chardon Hilltoppers against the East Liverpool Potters in Division II state playoff action. And tonight's game is brought to you by Connecticut Incorporated, by Junction Auto Sales, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, 5 generations dedicated to honesty, dignity, and service since 1859, by the law firm of Newman, Leary & Bryce, and by Clemson Excavating. Tonight's game also brought to you by Boswick's True Value Hardware and Chardon Dairy Queen, by Chardon Square Auto Body and Max Dugan's Restaurant and Lounge, by Gary's Towing and Service for all your automotive needs, and by Freeland Associates, Certified Public Accountants, by Howder's Lawn and Sport. Honda and Cub Cadet snow throwers are now in stock, by Lawson Ford and Mercury, by Chardon Metal Products, ISO 9002 certified, by Rent-A-Wreck, cars, vans, truck rentals, by Hamden Building Products for all your building needs, by Civic and Associates, certified public accountants and management consultants, by A.J. Goulder Electric Company, and Richard's Maple Products, gift packages year-round. Call for our free brochure. By Skylar Painting, 285-5471, commercial, industrial, and residential. By Midas Auto Systems, exhaust, brake, suspension, and tires. By Munson Corner Sunoco and Alvord Insurance Agency. By Residence Artists for all your painting and remodeling needs, and Ayrshire Corporation. By Chardon Auto Parts for all your auto parts needs. By Quay Buick, Buick stands for quality, and quality begins with QUA. By Ken's Transport Incorporated, bulk haulers. By Home and Business Storage, 204 5th Avenue and US 422 in Troy. It's 285-3653. By the Maple Leaf Restaurant, 540 Water Street. By Peterson and Eibold, attorneys at law, and by GTV, local public service programming for Burton Township, Burton Village, Chardon Township, Chardon Village, Hamden Township, and Middlefield Village. GTV, we're here for you. And once again, we are here for you. Tonight we're at Warren Harding High School as the playoffs continue for the Chardon Hilltoppers, coming off a tough victory last week over Dover. John Walsh.
Yeah, I think they kind of underestimated that Dover team. That was a good, solid team. Unfortunately, they played a schedule of smaller schools, so they were underrated. But I'll tell you, that was a very representative playoff team last week.
Maybe not so much taking them for granted, but possibly looking forward to this week. There's been talks about this playoff game and the hopes of it since the season began.
Well, there's all kinds of ramifications. We're in the regional finals. We're sitting there in front of big crowds. We got football atmosphere, big stadium. Everything's going for tonight. This is a good one. Like you're saying, alluding to, Chardon's got the revenge factor. Last year they had the big Euclid win. East Liverpool kind of knocked them down a notch. Chardon's looking for that. East Liverpool's looking to repeat. But either way, it's going to be one whale of a ball game tonight.
Unlike the Dover team of last week that was they had many dimensions. They could throw the ball, they could run the ball. This is a football team in East Liverpool that relies on two folks, and all they do is run the football.
Yeah, they got Robert Jackson, their big halfback. They hand it off to the fullback a little bit. And Maurice Brown, their quarterback, who runs the option rather well. They don't throw a lot, but they throw fairly effectively, so you can't forget about that facet. But they're going to come at you with a run, and that's the strength of the Chardon defense.
We're looking forward to a good one. The way both of these teams run, don't go to the kitchen for too long because we may not be here that long. They're going to keep it on the ground. They're going to keep moving the football. Earlier, we had a chance to talk to both coaches. Let's throw it across the field. Now, here's Tim Kelby.
Coach Bob Doyle of the Chardon Hilltoppers with us here in the pregame show. And Coach, week 12 football, that means it's very positive because things are still going on good.
Oh, absolutely, and you can tell it's already starting to get wild and noisy here. It's, every week it gets a little crazier, a little noisier, and I think this is what it's all about. This is great for the kids.
And it's still good weather. A little bit crisp tonight, but that's what some hard-hitting football is all about.
Oh, yeah, I love, it's about time. This is real football weather now. We're starting to get a little cold. I know we need a little bit of Chardon weather, get some snow in here, and we'll really be ready to go.
Yeah, let's talk briefly about last week, the victory over the Dover Tornadoes, and I think that possibly there were some people, there's a little bit of talk, maybe a little bit of underestimation as far as Dover's concerned. Gave you a pretty good battle last week.
We don't underestimate anybody. I think Dover just came and played a hell of a football game. I mean, at this level, there's no bad teams, and you know, like I've said, I thought that their motivation going into the game was a little bit different than ours. They played the game like it was a state championship game. We played it like it was a step to the state championship game. And you know, I don't think it would be unfair to take anything away from Dover. Those kids came and played a hell of a football game, and you know, I thought it was entertaining and wasn't in doubt in my mind.
Well, this going to swing over to this week with East Liverpool. You know, there's no doubt about it. On the part of the players, at least, you know, in the back of their minds, is the revenge factor with last year's loss in the regular season to East Liverpool.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's embarrassment more than anything else. I mean, we showed them the film Tuesday morning, and, you know, there's no question. We really played poorly, and that's not to take anything away from East Liverpool, but we really did not play as we were capable of playing. And, you know, I've told these kids all along, I really don't believe that there's anybody that can beat them except for themselves. And I think if we come out and play and execute and run the plays as we know how to run them and play defense the way we've been playing defense, I think that we'll win the football game, and no matter who we're facing.
East Liverpool's offensive attack basically focused around Jackson and Brown.
Oh, absolutely. They're two great young skilled kids. Quarterback is an outstanding talent, and, you know, more of a runner than a thrower. And the thing that's really scary about him is that when he forces you to cover the field is his scrambling ability. And, you know, all of a sudden you think you got a sack and he's on his way for a 15 or 20 yard gain. He's a definite scrambling threat, and you know, there's no question about the tailback. He's got great speed, and you know, we got to keep him penned in. I don't know if he's as good as Tony Fisher, but, you know, he's definitely got the speed.
And the Chardon health situation, I know that Platts is probably going to go right up to game time, whether or not he can go tonight.
Yeah, we aren't going to know about Kevin until about the next 10 minutes here when he really gets out there and tries. He had a little bit of problems pushing off last night, but, you know, he's got a doctor's okay, and it's going to really boil down to adrenaline and pain tolerance for him.
Good luck to you tonight. Hopefully we're talking week 13.
Thank you very much. Hope so.
Coach Bob Doyle, the Chardon Hilltoppers. Let's go over to Craig Dees with the East Liverpool coach.
Thanks very much, Tim. We're here with Bob Thayer. He's the head football coach of the East Liverpool Potters. And, Coach, you met Chardon last year. You won that game in overtime, and obviously looking for a repeat tonight.
Yeah, we had a great game against Chardon last year. We have the greatest respect for them. Their tradition speaks for themselves, and I think this is the best Chardon team I've seen in well, it was certainly better than last year's team. I think they've got much better speed and just a tremendous defensive team.
Now, offensively for you, there's a couple guys that we're going to be calling all night, and that's Jackson and Brown. Tell us a little bit about these two folks.
Well, Maurice Brown is our quarterback, and he's a real tough runner. We don't throw the ball a lot, but when we do, he does a pretty nice job. Robert Jackson is not your prototypical tailback. He's 6'4", 185 pounds, but he has had a super year for us, rushing for over 1,500 yards. You'll also see us use 3 different fullbacks, and we've got confidence in all 3 of those young men.
This is the Potters' first trip in 101 years to the playoffs, and looking behind us, the whole darn town turned out.
Oh, yeah, our people are very excited, and this is our first trip, but we have won 27 out of the last 31 games, so our kids are not unaccustomed to big games. We missed the playoffs in '96 by 0.8 of a point, and in '97 we missed by 0.8 of a point. So we've come very, very close, and this year we finally made it in.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by, and good luck tonight, but not too good a luck.
Well, okay, we'll do our best. Thank you.
Thanks very much. There's Bob Thayer. He's the head football coach of the East Liverpool Potters, and through the magic of television, we'll go up to the booth, and that'll be John. We come to you from high atop Mollenkoff Stadium here in Warren, Ohio, as the Chardon Hilltoppers get ready to take on the East Liverpool Potters. And Division II regional final action. The winner goes on to the state semifinals next week at a locale to be determined later on. Nice night for football. It was very windy early, John, but the flag is limp at the one end of the field, but it's a little cool out there tonight.
Yeah, but with the emotions down on that field and everything, it's very, very warm because everybody's up for that. You can see both sidelines. There's not going to be any flatness coming out of either one of these teams tonight, as they know what it means. It's the excitement of the playoffs. Both crowds are going to be into it. I don't expect the cold to have any influence whatsoever.
There you see a shot of the East Liverpool crowd, and they brought the whole town, similar to what Chardon does. This has been great for 2 weeks now. The crowds that Dover brought in Chardon last week, and now it has been equaled or better this week as we move into round 2 of the playoffs. Chardon has won the toss, They have elected to defer their choice to the second half, so the Potters decided that they want the football first. Of course, coming to you throughout tonight's ball game, Tim Kelby will be roaming the sidelines, giving you the sights and the sounds of life down on the field. And a little addition that we did last week, and it worked out very well, I thought. Better him than me, because it's a lot colder down there than it is up here.
Oh, yeah, because you're standing around. On the sideline, the boys are moving and getting an adrenaline rush and all that sort of stuff, keeping their warm. This is what Chardon wanted. They want their defense. They figure that's their core that's going to do it. They're going to try to stop this fairly potent East Liverpool offense. This is going to put the two strengths of the team against each other right from the onset.
Maurice Brown and Gino Williams back deep, and they kick it toward Williams, who takes it at the 15. Gino Williams squirts his way across the 25 to near the 27-yard line, and that is where the Potters will take over. First down and 10. Let's look at the offensive unit for the East Liverpool Potters. The split end is Rob Green, Seth Francis, and Josh Milhone up front, along with Adam Esselstyn, Jason Weimer, Dan Aldrich. The tight end is Josh Ludwig. And then we've got the fullback Chris Rail, Ryan Roberts, and Robert Jackson are the halfbacks, and Maurice Brown, a 5'10", 175-pound senior, is the quarterback. And straight up the middle they go. It's Chris Rail, and Rail gets railroaded back after he picks up only about a yard. The middle of that Chardon big defensive line with the stop. Let's take a look at the Hilltopper starting defense. A little bit different. Ben Chuha, Luke Chuha, Ben Dezakevich getting the start up front as they move Chris Dakowitz to the end to replace the injured Kevin Platts. Mitch Hewitt, Tim Smith, and Brian Smith are the linebackers. Rusty Opper, Scott Mackar, John Landstrom, and Dan Merritt, the defensive backs for Chardon. There is a possibility that we'll see Kevin Platts tonight. We'll just have to play it by ear. You heard Bob Doyle in the pregame not really tipping his hand as to what's going to happen. Maurice Brown keeps it, and he will fall forward for a yard or two. This is pretty much, John, what we're going to see all night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, except so far we haven't seen their big ball carrier, Robert Jackson. The middle of that line, though, is doing their job, even though the personnel has been adjusted around a little bit. You got Platt sitting out this game. As I understand, he's chomping at the bits. This is killing him, which is kind of understandable, you know, being out of a game of this magnitude and stuff like that. But he's got capable teammates that hopefully Kevin can be back in next week, and Chardon's still down there on the field.
It's a 3rd down and 7 for the Potters. They hand the ball on a counter, and that is Ryan Roberts, another halfback, and he picks up a first down. So as John said, they have not given the ball to Robert Jackson. Jackson has scored 20 touchdowns in the regular season, 1,436 yards on the ground. That is a school record. As you watch this Ryan Roberts run once again.
See, they overcommitted a little bit to their defensive right side. They're opening up that left side for the counter.
Now Brown to throw, fires it across the middle and over the outstretched hands of Josh Ludwig, and that'll bring up a 2nd down.
Yeah, actually there was a little loose coverage there. He was open, but Brown, like we said, is a running quarterback. He doesn't throw that much. That time he delivered the ball a little bit high, but he did have the open man there.
Of course, Chardon coming off the 20-14 win over Dover last week at Kent State's Dick Stadium. East Liverpool a winner over Uniontown Lake by a score of 28-14. Chardon comes in at 11-0, and East Liverpool comes in at 10-1. They're only lost to Salem. They run the option, and Brown's going to keep it again, and the quarterback falls forward for just a couple of yards, and that'll bring up 3rd down and long, and that's what Chardon would love to have all night long.
Oh, exactly that. You know, it is kind of amazing. We've been hearing Robert Jackson's their workhorse getting the ball. I don't believe he's touched it as of yet. That time they had the options sealed up very, very well. One guy was in there, and Brown had an arm, wasn't able to pull him down. As you can see, maybe I can pick up the number of who the player is. Right there, they got it sealed. I think that was Mitch Hewitt that was in there, but they did their job. Wasn't able to execute, still held him to short yardage on that option run.
3rd down and 8, Brown to throw. Hit by Hewitt as he throws, and the pass is incomplete. The pass was intended for Rob Green, but it was a little behind him, and that'll bring up a 4th down and a punting situation for the Potters.
Well, defense did what they wanted to do, you know, shut them down first. Now this is going to be the interesting matchup. We'll see what the offense does here. As you can see here, he fakes it into the line there. Going back, he did have, no, he wasn't open, he was picked up, I'm sorry. Brian Smith did pick up Robert Jackson, who also went out as a receiver after getting the fake.
Hillkirk and Makar go back deep, and Scott's going to take it at the 19. Gets a good block by Hillkirk, but gets tripped up at the 20 and falls across to the 24-yard line. Nice punt by Rick Lamp, and the Hilltoppers with decent field position to start their first offensive series of the night. Let's take a look at the Chardon Hilltopper offense. Coached by Bob Doyle, Rob Krebs, Chris Dakowitz, Kyle Kaplan, Bob Kramer, and Mark Burr up front. Ben Chuha gets the start at tight end. We will see Rusty Opper at the split end. Scott Makar and Mitch Hewitt in the backfield. Behind the quarterback, Ryan Davis. And we'll also see Tim Smith in there as well, number 41. Davis, a 5'8", 160-pound senior. Was 2 out of 4 through the air last week for 53 yards. And again, that's not his strong suit, or not what he is dependent upon to do. First down and 10 for the Toppers. There you see Smith is the wing on the near side, and he goes in motion. And they run the option. And Davis is going to keep it. Hip hops across the 25 into open territory across the 35 to the 39-yard line. And right out of the gate, Ryan Davis, who had 33 yards on the ground last week, picks up about 16 yards there and will take it all the way up to the 39-yard line. Here's the defensive unit for the East Liverpool Potters, coached by Bob Thayer. Anthony Dirk, Jason Weimer, Josh Ludwig, and Josh Mulhone are the guys up front. Matt Salisbury, and he's a good one at linebacker. Chris Rail, Josh Yeager, and Robert Jackson are the linebackers. Steve Mayo, Nate Jones, and Zach Jones are the defensive backs. It's a first down and 10 for Chardon. Up the gut they go to Hewitt, and he barrels his way across the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things they've been looking, and face it, Hewitt's somebody you got to be respect, heavy duty in the middle there. He's got good blocking up front, strong breakaway speed. I think on that opening play, that's what they did, because they kind of sealed up the middle a little bit, opened it up, and on the option play, didn't cover the quarterback that well. Davis read that, cut it to the inside a little bit, got a good gain. Come right back with Hewitt up the middle. That's that multifaceted offense, and it looks like it's on all 4 barrels tonight.
Second down and 2. Makar tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. That would be Robert Jackson, the linebacker. Now the linebacker, formerly the running back, until they get the ball back. Loss of a yard on the play. That'll make it third down and 3. Jay Hillkirk will bring in the play as Rusty Opper takes a seat.
See here, they just kind of fill their lanes there. Just didn't allow anything to happen. This time they weren't looking for the seat. They kind of just played a disciplined defense, fill lanes. It worked for them.
Third down and 3, 7 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Opening quarter, we have no score. They give the ball to Hewitt. Mitch breaks a tackle, gets the first down and more as he's into Potter territory near the 48-yard line. So the first third down opportunity for Chardon tonight is a successful one, and they keep the drive alive.
Yeah, that was just keeping those legs chugging. He was actually hit. He gained, the line gave him a little gap, about a yard or 2 is what he was. Watch here, you see him. He just drives those legs, drives forward. They're right there. Number 4 had a beat on him. Mitch just drove those legs, went, picked up the first down and a couple more.
First down and 10. Davis hands the ball to Hewitt, and Hewitt, tough running again, but picks up another 5, maybe 6 yards over the left side, and that'll bring up a second down.
Yeah, that time he hit the hole, which opened up and just kind of kept leaning, never did get squared up, kind of just followed along the way the natural hole was opening up. As you can see here, he never does get squared up the line of scrimmage. He just keeps that little slant run going right there, and picks up a good gain again on a big first down play. So far, Chardon's had excellent first down plays for yardage wise.
Second down and about 4.5. Quick hitter, it's Hewitt. Hewitt falls forward for the first down as he's near the 36-yard line.
Boy, that's another one that if he had kept his balance, he probably could have planted, taken it outside, and it'd have been a quick 6 for Chardon, but his feet kind of got knocked. He lost his balance a little bit and just dove forward for what he had. You can see he's off balance there. His whole outside was open up, though. If he could have cut that to the outside, but without the balance going, you can't. But nonetheless, it's a first down. this Chardon team's moving the ball rather well so far.
Josh Yeager on the tackle for the Potters. It is a 1st down and 10. Down to the 36-yard line, the Hilltoppers go. Davis keeps it on the option and breaks into the defensive backfield before Robert Jackson, out of his linebacker spot, knocks him down, but not before Chardon picks up another 1st down.
I'll tell you one of the keys so far I see on why they are moving the ball. They are nullifying Matt Salisbury, was an honorable mention All-State number 33. Watch here, you see Rob Kramer pancakes him, knocks him right into the turf. So far he has not been a factor, and as I understand it, this is a big part of this defensive alignment, is that inside lineman. I know he was last year when Chardon played East Liverpool, but so far he's been a non-person out there in the field. They've nullified him totally.
Zach Jones on the tackle, but it's a 1st down again for the Hilltoppers. Davis hands it to Hewitt, and Mitch spins his way down to the 21-yard line.
Number 29, Mitch Hewitt, the ball.
You haven't gotten a chance yet. East Liverpool has a website that is put together by not the school, not the team, but a bunch of fans in the area. And they rank the victory over Chardon last year as one of the top 3 wins in East Liverpool history. So you know how important they thought that game was. And Chardon has been gunning for this game all season. And I think they're happy to meet up with East Liverpool.
I'll tell you, their opening thing, they have an animation of the tying field goal. That's right on the opening page. It's incredible. That thing's got to be 400 megabytes of information on there. It's just the largest thing. It goes page after page. They do almost a play-by-play of every one of their regular season and playoff games, and you can click on and get a full-screen photograph of 10 different things, from the crowd to somebody intercepting a pass to somebody running. It's just an amazing sight.
Brian Miller was the man who kicked that field goal last season. Davis going to keep it again, cuts inside the 15 to the 10. He's down to the 5. Touchdown, Chardon. Brian Davis, 21 yards away, has the score.
Boy, I tell you, he just cut inside, planted, took it to the inside there, and then cut against the grain just a little bit where all they could get on him was an arm. And I tell you, Ryan Davis is not that big, but you're not going to bring him down with arm tackling. You're going to have to lay a lick on him. Watch here. There's the cut right there. Now watch. After this is just getting arms on him, and you can't pull him down like that. See, that's all the guy could do was get an arm on him. He just kept driving. Excellent run. I'll tell you, this is so far, Ryan Davis is running that option extremely well.
Steve Mayo had an opportunity, but just could not bring him down. Macar to attempt the PAT, and it is good. And he boinks one of the band members. It's a great seat they have back there, right on top of things in the end zone. 7-0. Chardon leads it with 5:08 to go here in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, that extra point wasn't too far away from going right into that tuba. Did you see?
Well, we told you before, we're bringing them back again. Let's go down to the field now. Here is Tim Kelby. Timmy.
Thanks a lot, Craig. And of course, Davis, a little guy amongst big men down here, has run 3 perfect options and done very well. But we got here about 2 hours before the game started, and these East Liverpool fans were out in mass already. But the Chardon fans have caught up, a little bit late coming. But I'd say right now we got about 10,000 people here at Mollenkopf Stadium. Greg?
Thanks very much, Tim. And there is a large crowd. It was a late arriving crowd for Chardon, but this is old hat to the Chardon fans. They know they get to the playoff game a half hour, 45 minutes before. But you gotta, I still love, this is Division II. You're still talking about some pretty big schools to have the towns back them like that. And people will tell you that's the difference between some of the bigger schools, some of the parochial schools that just don't have this kind of following, because you've got guys from all over, all the little towns around it, where when you've got these hometown teams, it is something.
And to tell you, we're in a good-sized Division I stadium, and if you put all the people into the stands, there's really not too many spare seats. They have filled this seating-wise to capacity pretty much.
And we've got some railbirds down there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You put them up in this nice kick.
Makar's kick again is taken by Gino Williams, and Williams gets squashed at the 29-yard line. And that is where the Potters will begin drive number 2.
Yeah, again, it's that score. I mean, they shut their defense down. I mean, their offense pretty well. Then the offense of Chardon takes the ball and just puts on an impressive drive. Running on one adjustment I see East Liverpool has to do is they have to learn to seal on Davis. They're not covering the guy with the ball. They're going out on the pitch man a little bit too much, respecting that. You got to cover both of them on the option, and being an option team themselves, they should know that.
We finally get to see Robert Jackson, and Jackson barrels his way for 5 yards near the 35-yard line. Looking down on the sideline, I'm looking for number 44, and he's probably in there somewhere, but I think Bob Doyle, as much as Kevin Platts would like to play, I think he would love to sit him out tonight if it goes the way he'd like it to go. Get rest on that leg for another week and then bring him back in week 3 if the situation warrants it.
I'm sure.
Again, they go to Jackson, and Jackson stays on his feet, lunges forward for the first down to the 42-yard line. Coming up off the bottom of the pile was Ben Chuha.
Yeah, but he's a strong-looking runner. He's not really built like your prototypical runner. He's 6'4", and 185 pounds, which is not really what you expect out of a running back, but I tell you, he showed a lot of power in that run.
Geno Williams was a lone setback. They hand the ball to Chris Rail, and Rail into Chardon territory all the way down to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, you got now there's your classic fullback. He's just a little fire plug. Probably mainly used as a blocking back for Jackson coming out of his halfback position. Yeah, he just one of those low center of gravities, tough to bring down. You just got to hit him, take his legs out from underneath him.
Spinning is Jackson, and Jackson with another first down. And Tim talked about the crowd on the far side that were quieted briefly after Chardon scored. Now they are back to life as the ball is all the way down to the Chardon 33-yard line. And a lot of times it boils down to, when you know both teams are going to run the football, is who blocks and tackles the best. And right now, the offenses are winning the battle on both sides. This time it's Brown, and he goes behind his tailback Jackson, and he'll pick up almost 5.
Yeah, that's just straight inside stuff is what they're doing right now. One thing I did see, I never did see a stat sheet. Here you can see the replay here. Kind of kept it, cut it inside. But looking over their recaps, one thing I see this offense is prone to do, even though I don't have statistics on it, they're prone to put the ball down in the ground. It seems like in a lot of their discussions, they were talking about fumbling.
They hand the ball to Ryan Roberts, and Ryan Roberts finds some tough running, might have got a yard. Bob Thayer is a 1975 graduate of East Liverpool, and he was a defensive coordinator here for about 8 years before he moved on to his first head coaching job at Wellsville. Took them to a state runner-up in 1994. Local boy makes good, comes back to East Liverpool, and guess who's in the playoffs now? Yep. 3 years later, and knocked on the door the first 2 years he was here.
Another thing from their website, boy, that thing was loaded with information.
No, I talked to him last night, he told me that.
Every member of their coaching staff is a graduate of East Liverpool.
Up the middle they go, and it is Robert Jackson, and he does not get the first down.
Good,
he will be about 3 yards shy.
That was a good way for the announcer to describe it. Tackled by the interior defense. As a line just kind of plugged the hole, settled him right there. Yeah, it's hard to say who was in on that tackle.
So it's a 4th down and 3. Down to 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. Glad you could join us for Chardon Hilltopper football on GTV. I'm Craig Dees, along with my partner John Walsh. Down on the field, Tim Kelby.
Craig,
welcome to Mollenkopf Stadium.
You are wondering where Platts is. Look at left end. He's out there playing left defensive end right now.
Yes, he is. 4th down and 3. Brown going to throw it. On the run, throws, pass is complete. Pass is completed to the tight end, Josh Ludwig. Let's go down to the field, and here's Tim Kelby.
Just talking about East Liverpool graduates. And of course, you know who the biggest one of all is, as far as I'm concerned. 1954, Mr. Lou Holtz, the graduate of East Liverpool. Greg?
Spoken like a man who will be at Notre Dame University tomorrow. Or excuse me, the University of Notre Dame. Got to make sure I get that right. Tomorrow. 1st down and 10. Again, it's Jackson, and he gets spun around, hit by Smith. That's Tim Smith. Platts in on the tackle as well. Well, I tell you what, when we saw Kevin last week, being helped off the field, and all the things we were hearing up in the booth about ligament damage and could be busted, could be sprained. We're
all
not sure.
guesswork at that point. I guess according to Coach Doyle, he dressed yesterday, practiced. It gave him a little problem, had his therapy today. I tell you, I watched him the last couple plays, and it doesn't seem to be slowing him down, doesn't seem to be taking his aggressiveness. He looks like Kevin Platts out there.
Rusty Opper also helped out on the tackles. The 2nd down and 7. They run the option. Oh, great play. Tim Smith trips up the quarterback, Maurice Brown. Maurice is still going to get a yard or so, but it was going to be a lot worse than that if he wouldn't have gotten the ankle and dragged him down.
Boy, I tell you, watch on the end, Platts coming in, gets double teamed. They're sealing that, but Tim Smith cuts inside there and just takes his legs away. You can do all the double teams you want in that corner. If you never reach the corner, it's to no avail.
Down to 15 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. It's a 3rd down and 8.
That was a quick quarter. That was a real
I told you, don't
quarter.
go to the fridge, folks, because this thing's going to fly by with the way these teams run the football. And again, it's Brown to throw. Now he's being chased, being sacked back at the 25-yard line.
Smith again.
was there along with his
Landstrom.
partner Landstrom. Landstrom with a blitz from his safety spot. Knocks him back, and we have played 1 quarter of football here at Mollenkopf Stadium. And the score is the Chardon Hilltoppers 7 and the Potters nothing.
Watch the speed here. You'll see Brown standing out here by himself. All of a sudden, 2 heat-seeking missiles come pouring in. Here they come. Missile number 1, Smith. Missile number 2, Landstrom. They just level them. We've talked many times about the speed of this team. That play illustrates it.
That's a good illustration there, as you say, and a great way for Chardon to end the 1st quarter. But keep in mind that high school sports continues all winter long here as we cover Berkshire, Cardinal, Chardon sports. I had people in the stands say, hey, when you do the Chardon girls basketball, my daughter's playing. Oh. So you got people, they're waiting for basketball season already. But we'll do basketball, we'll do wrestling. So check GTV regularly for replay dates and times. We'll also be airing several holiday programs next month. So check Channel 24 for that information also. And we should remind you that nonprofit organizations from our funding community can send their announcements of interest to GTV, Post Office Box 336, Chardon, Ohio, or give us a fax at 286-6814. That's 286-6814. Or you can email us at geaugatv@compuserve.com for all you nonprofit organizations. Speaking of a nonprofit organization, let's go down to the field. And here's Tim.
Okay, Craig, right here next to my immediate right, Mayor John Park of Chardon and former Mayor John Reed next to Mayor Park. And
Andy,
got a little jug of maple
syrup
real hot. On bet with Mayor Sato of East Liverpool.
Yep, that's correct. And a pitcher, one of our pottery pitchers, and we're looking forward to getting that. For the boys, give.
Did you have any bets last week? Or
Yeah,
is this the first one?
down there?
He gave us one of the Werther carving knives, so we have in storage, and we'll just keep taking it all the way to the state.
Yeah, those are the museum. Good luck. Hopefully this is.
We just held them. Thank you.
We just. Okay.
On the 4th down play, Brown's pass was intended for Robert Jackson, and it falls into the end zone harmlessly, and that means Chardon will get the football back at the 24-yard line. So
yeah, as you watch, that pass wasn't even close. As he's moving, he should have stopped a little bit, set his feet. Because, somebody, if you got the mobile, that's not even close. You see one of the Chardon guys down there holding his hand. But if you got the quarterback that doesn't throw that much, the rollout and throwing on the run is not the route to do. You got to be able to set your feet some.
Again, they go to Hewitt for 3 yards.
29, Mitch Hewitt, the ball carrier.
That was Dan Merritt on the coverage, but you're right. I mean, Robert Jackson was open. He had Merritt by a step or two. If he sets and puts it on the button, then you've got yourself a touchdown, but we'll take it.
Oh, sure, very, very much so. There's no complaining going on here by any means.
2nd down and 7.
Yeah, we'll see if this offense can start clicking again like they did in their opening drive, which is only their 2nd possession.
Hewitt again tucks the ball under, and a strong run, stays on his feet and gets very close to a 1st down. He might have it as he moved all the way up to the 34. Now they bring it back to about the 33, so he'll be about a yard shy.
Yeah, that was second effort. He got low there and just kept driving. Watch how low he gets coming through that line of scrimmage there. As he sees he's going to have the impact here, puts his shoulder down and just drives, and gets every inch he can out of that. Brings it up to a very short third. Well, they're actually going to measure this one. But
based on the replay, John, he got a favorable spot because the knee came down and then he kind of lunged forward, and if they gave him that, it is going to be very close, but it's going to be about a half a yard shy, maybe even a foot away. So that'll bring up third down and less than a yard. They will move it back out to the hash marks.
Yeah, I'll be surprised. I think he'll just go straight ahead to Hewitt here and just take it up the middle rather than trying to go outside and potentially breaking the big play, but then again, you can also get the big loss out of that.
This field, considering we are in the latter stages of November, is in very good shape. You can see some of the dirt areas down on the field there, but very solidly packed. Hi, everybody. We've even got the camera in the booth, John, so we can keep an eye on you.
Yeah, I got that thing sitting right on my cheek, and it's not a comforting feeling. Well, one reason this field's in such good condition, it's crowned. See, it's crowned amazingly. I mean, it's got a big mound in the middle. You almost go downhill when you sweep outside.
Hewitt,
second
tough effort, gets the first down. Hanging on for dear life was Chris Rail.
Yeah, that was one of those, I think Hewitt said, give me the ball, I ain't gonna fail you boys. I'm getting me a first down, and there's no question. He just put his head down and drove. As you can see here, Hewitt's got it. They actually sealed it a little bit. Krebs just kept on. His guy pushed him out. Hewitt cut behind the big body of Krebs, drove forward for his, his first down and a couple more.
So the Chardon offense has been clicking on all cylinders tonight so far. Both times they've had the football, they've continued to move it. Davis tripped up, and he will go down at the 35-yard line. So just tripping over his own feet, or might have got tripped over by a lineman as they were pulling out there, and that'll be a loss of 2. Let's watch it again.
Yeah, we'll have to see if we can catch what did catch him. No, I think it was his own feet. I don't think it was anybody that got any penetration, as that line again just kept him off. Again, I allude to the fact of where is Salisbury? This is their linebacker that was big thorn in their side last year for Chardon, and he's been getting tackles like crazy. They are nullifying him. Their offensive blocking schemes is taking him completely out of the game. Whoa, did he have that ball on his back?
Makar has it to the 45-yard line. He'll be about 3 yards shy. I was watching Salisbury that time, and we'll keep an eye on him the next couple of plays here, John, because he was following the quarterback, Davis, who handed it and was coming this way like he's running the option.
I want to see, did Makar have that ball on his back, actually? Yeah, oh yeah. I thought I saw the ball back there. Whoa. Oh, it's a good thing he didn't take a pop there. That ball was loose.
Did you see that? That was
dead
like one of those fanny
back.
packs on his back. Davis going to keep it. Davis gets through, puts his head down, and coughs it up. But I think
Hewitt,
that Brian Smith was there. Are they going to give it to the Potters? Yes, they will. Coming up off the bottom of the pile was Josh Yeager. Davis's second effort, and the ball hit the deck. That would have been a first down if he'd have been able to hang on to it, but the Potters get the first break of the night. They will have the football at near midfield.
See, as he fakes into Hewitt in the middle here, takes it, cuts that inside route again. Ooh, had the ball a little dangly. Another guy came up. He actually did have the first down at the time. Potters take over at midfield.
Big hit by the Potters, and they get the first break on the turnover. First down and 10 now. Football is at midfield. Brown to throw again. Brown going to launch it, looking deep, and the pass is intercepted by Scott Makar inside the 10. He looked more like the intended receiver than Rob Green did, and Makar with the turnover gives the ball right back to the Hilltoppers. Lose a little bit of yardage in the turnaround, but they'll take it.
Actually, they lost quite a bit of yardage in the turnaround. See, too bad Makar couldn't take. He had to his left when he spun around, the whole field wide open. kind of probably returned it a good 20, 25 yards, and with the ball in Makar's hands, who knows how far, but he had a lot of open space there, but unfortunately, just the angle, he couldn't keep his feet underneath him to make the reverse around and get a return off of that. But important thing is they got that ball back.
Scott set the tone last week with that great kickoff return to start the game.
Oh yeah, that definitely helped out. And now they need a good, concentrated, sustained drive here to try to get the ball out and back into favorable field position at the minimum.
Well, the only thing that stopped them so far has been themselves on that fumble. Oh, Makar got spun down, and he is down at the 10-yard line. The linesman came in and didn't do anything except spot the football right where Makar hit the ground.
Yeah, you can see on this one, he had his lead blockers in front of him, Mitch Hewitt, but they came up behind and actually made the tackle. It just, somebody hit the open lane there and was able to get behind Makar before he could really get started.
2nd down and 10. Tim Smith goes in motion. Mitch Hewitt had a hole over the left side and was only able to pick up 1 or 2 as it closed up very quickly.
About the time he was hitting it, it sealed up on him because he did have that lane open, and it was incredible how fast that closed down on him. See if we can see it here. You might be able to see just that quick little bit of a hole there and how quick white shirts come in. There it is. See the open hole, and all of a sudden the white shirt comes across, another one comes in and just seal it up.
Steve Mayo and Josh Yeager on the tackle for East Liverpool. Clock continues to run. We're down to 7 minutes, 25 seconds to go here in the first half. Chardon leads it by a score of 7-0.
No, nothing doing out there.
Nothing at all, and that'll bring up a 4th down and a punting situation for the Hilltoppers.
It's only our second punt as we got 7 minutes left here in the second quarter. Yeah, that play just, they strung it out. There really wasn't anywhere to go as Chardon tries to go outside on the right side. You can see the white shirt just kind of seal that up.
Chris Rail among others there. So Scott Makar will stand at his end zone, actually a yard deep. Jackson and Brown go back deep as Makar hits a nice high kick.
Gonna let it hit.
Takes a Chardon bounce into Potter territory. Actually going back deep along with Jackson was Nate Jones.
I don't understand why they didn't catch that ball. They really come up about 4 or 5 yards. It was high enough. You had time to get underneath it. I don't understand why they let that ball hit the ground. Maybe they called a fair catch, take it, but don't allow that extra 8-9 yard roll.
So the Potters will get the football back with 6 minutes and 34 seconds to go here in the first half. Coming up at halftime, we will have the Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band playing to a sold-out crowd tonight.
Oh, a lot of people. A lot of people here.
Jackson busts through a hole and into Topper territory. Tim Smith was there and Rusty Opper. Looking at, I tell you, 2 of the most unique nicknames in high school sports playing against each other tonight. The Hilltoppers and the Potters.
Yeah.
Not your average nickname.
Yeah, I do know one other Hilltoppers, University of Western Kentucky are the Hilltoppers, but I don't know of another Potters.
And you know that because?
They're the Hilltoppers.
2nd down and 4. Well, I had to ask. I thought maybe there was something that...
No special significance. Well, a friend of mine went to the school.
Right.
I suppose that might have been the first time. But
bring up a 3rd down and 2. Platt's on the tackle for Chardon.
Yeah, it's a good thing he's not 100% healthy.
Rob Green is into the ball game now for East Liverpool as the clock continues to run. We're down to 5.5 minutes to go.
I'll tell you, that looking at Platts, I don't see where there's any injury. His speed doesn't seem to be, nothing's held back. Oh.
Jackson stood up and making the final hit is Dan Merritt, but he got spun around and Merritt was there to level him. 4th down and appears to be a punting situation.
Yeah, we have to see, was it that Merritt or? Oh, yeah, that was Merritt on that. I'm sorry. I thought that was Brian Smith on a hit, but you're right.
Looked like Mitch Hewitt hit him first, kind of staggered him, and then Merritt came in and
he laid a good hit on him.
Rick Lamp to punt again. Nice high kick, headed Makar's way, and Scott will call for the fair catch and take it right at the 20-yard line. So the Hilltoppers have 4 minutes and 41 seconds to go here in the first half in order to try to extend that 7-0 lead.
No,
this is reminiscent of last season, a nice back and forth, knockdown, drag out kind of a game.
Yeah. 4:41 isn't, they got 80 yards to go, but they can get a good drive together because they have their full complement of timeouts left. So, as a matter of fact, both teams have 3 timeouts left and a half. So there's still a lot of football that can be played if you can start getting something going. If you don't get nothing going, they'll just not use them and let the clock go down. But
James Andre into the game. He's the wide out on the far side. Flags fly.
That was ugly. That was just plain ugly. It was kind of one of those, they tried to make it look like a shift, but it just didn't come off. This 2-minute motion, we're going to have a procedure call on Chardon. For a second there, I thought they were going to get away with their, we're just shifting. It's a shift. Watch here, you get both wing backs taken off at the same time. There they go. Uh-oh. Now watch, they try to set here. Yeah, that just...
expected them to come across the backfield and do-si-do behind the quarterback and send each other back on their own way. First down and 15 now for the Hilltoppers. Jay Hilkirk into the game as a wide out. Ben Chuha remains the tight end, so we haven't seen Kevin Platts on offense yet that I'm aware of. A little delay. Davis going to keep it underneath the Makar in the open field, and Scott's got some room. Across the 40, jukes his way and will be dragged out of bounds, or actually will drag a defender out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Nice misdirection. Davis almost got me there.
Oh, yeah.
Almost got me. And I know he got somebody down on the field because Makar was wide open.
Definitely wide open, and he put that ball right on the money, and then you almost got into that one-on-one situation there. Just unfortunately, Makar was a little too close to the, seemed to fake our cameraman up a little bit. He was too close to the sideline to really use the whole field for his cut-ins.
Steve Mayo bumped him out of bounds. First down and 10 now for the Hilltoppers. And it's Mitch Hewitt, who just does get back to the line of scrimmage.
Tried to cut it back to the inside there, got his feet tangled up a little bit in the grass, and down he went. See here, Mitch going to outside, sees the lane open. Oh boy, that was a nice little lane open up too. I see what he saw there. Just couldn't get the planning properly to cut it back again and take that opening, or he could have been off to the races.
Second down and 10. 3 minutes, 37 seconds to go now. Davis to throw, looking deep, looking for Jay Hilkirk, and he's got it at the 21-yard line. No, they say it came loose. Oh, Jay had it, and when he came down, it bounced, and he bounced with it. Oh, Jay, what a great effort. He fully extended himself, almost came down with it.
I think he did have it, but as soon as he hit the ground, it was shaking loose there. Fortunately, he didn't have the feet down to consider it a catch. If he had taken a step with it or something, it would have been a catch. But, there he never had the full possession. He couldn't bring it in. The ground just made it come out. Nice effort, though. Nice pass, too.
Yeah, right on the button. Third down and 10.
Nothing else. That was a nice play to give Liverpool something else to think about.
Davis again will try to throw. Ball is thrown behind Makar. And I tell you what, Rusty Opper was trying to get out into the pattern and was not allowed to do so. He was being held and pushed and shoved, and they had to go to plan B or maybe even plan C in Makar, and that'll bring up a fourth down.
See if we can pick up Opper's number 88, see if he shows up in the back of your screen when they go. I personally didn't see that, but boy, I don't question that he was held. Nah, he never showed up in the screen or something. Okay, we got 3:22 left in this first half, which has been a very enjoyable ball game.
Makar with a beauty. heads in the direction of Jackson. Jackson jukes his way at the 25. Landstrom had him, and Landstrom helps to bring him down. Tim Smith puts the finishing touches on him, and the Potters will have the football. First down and 10 at the 25-yard line. 3 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the half.
That was a nice punt, and the thing is, the height of it allowed his coverage to get down there, because you got to be careful. Jackson's got a couple punt returns for touchdowns. Again, coming from that webpage.
Last week, 58-yarder.
Yeah, so you definitely got to respect that.
You're supposed to let people think that you know all this off the top of your head. You're giving away all your secrets, Walsh.
Well, it is off the top. I'm not reading the sheet. I studied. Boy, there was...
Jackson gets stood up, might have got a half a yard just because of the effort. We'll give him a foot or so.
How's this for a segue? Looks like Chardon defense studied that running play too, because they were standing there waiting for it, right smack dab in the hole, sealed it up.
There's Kevin.
You see, yeah,
Tim
you got
Smith.
Kevin right there. Smith comes up to help. Was that Brian Smith in the backside, or who was that in the backside? I couldn't see. Maybe Rusty Opper. Could have been 88 out there.
On the scoreboard, we'll give him a gain of a yard, so it's 2nd down and 9. Flags fly. Talked to Kevin's dad before the ball game and said, how's he doing? And he just kind of looked, and I kind of had the feeling something might be up, but didn't want to say. Had an opportunity that they were going to take him up to game time to get him into the game, but they obviously feel comfortable enough to put him in the ball game tonight.
I don't know. Short
Must
of
be healthy enough.
Short of him having the pain, I don't see the flexibility or anything like that gone where, you know, he's slowed down. I'm sure he's well taped or whatever they had to do to get him out of the field, but it doesn't seem to be limited. I mean, in any way, he's playing very well out there.
And that's tough too. You may be all splinted up and everything, but it's tough to your mobility goes. As Brown throws a little screen pass taken by Ryan Roberts, and Roberts doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Mitch Hewitt is there.
Ooh,
a flag comes flying in there at the end.
I don't know what that would have been.
And who else was over there? Platts was over there as well. Mitch Hewitt came up pumping his fist, and I don't know if they're going to give him a flag for that. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe a face mask. Yep, face mask against the Hilltoppers. And that is at the 20, and that should get them close to a first down.
That'd have to be Platts on the face mask then, because Hewitt was from behind down low. See if we can see the hand coming in there.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately that was one of those, just a hand laid on there, but nonetheless, you can't have the hand in that area. I don't think he really even grabbed. It was just kind of laid there.
So a 3rd down and a yard, or a 3rd down and about 16 or 17 has become 2nd down and less than a yard. The ball is right on the 35-yard line, but it needs to get about a football length past the 35 in order to get the first down. So they're about a yard shy. Now that's a more accurate spot of the football there.
Yeah, they just re-spotted and moved it a little bit.
Clock is running again. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go here till halftime. Brown to throw again. Brown steps up. He's being chased. He's being sacked. Chris Dakowitz gets credit for the sack, but I'll tell you what Brown did is he headed for the hills and hit the deck because he didn't want to take a full brunt of Dakowitz.
Yeah, I think Smith got the ankle as he was going forward there. Let's see, he's sealed up there. Hewitt's coming in. Yeah, Dakowitz on top, but I think Smith gets a share of that one too because he grabbed the ankle and actually started him down.
Chardon's going to take their first time out. They want the football back. There's 1:48 to go. It'll be a 3rd down and 6 when play resumes.
Thing is, again, you're left with the timeout situation you can use. You know, you can get into the field goal range where you can take a shot at the last time because, you know, this is going to be a battle. Right now we got the 7-zip lead. You know, 3 points can come into play, something fierce.
All right, let's go down to the field, and here's Tim Kelby. Timmy.
Okay, Craig, one of the things that was very noticeable when we came in here to Mollenkopf Stadium, and we've seen a lot, you see a lot of crowns on natural turf stadiums, but I tell you what, this is one of the largest ones we've ever seen. and it's very high between the hash marks, and if you take a look across the field, you know, you're not going to see the ankles on the opposing players or anybody along the rail, among the railbirds. One of the coaches mentioned if it would rain, it wouldn't dribble off, the rain would run off the sides. Craig?
It's a great shot down there, and we couldn't see their knees, Tim, never mind their ankles, as Brown rolls out, being hit as he throws, and it is incomplete. That was a great athletic effort. Pass was intended for Josh Ludwig. And was that Rusty Opper coming up off the ground over there?
Yeah,
there
was
all
Rusty
kinds
Opper
of bodies
in coverage.
entangled. The good news is the clock is stopped with 1:42 to go, and Chardon doesn't have to waste the timeout.
No.
Dakowitz was chasing him.
Yeah, he had some pressure there, and you know, in the man jump, you had Opper. You had excellent coverage all the way around. Merritt had the deeper man, which is Rail, Chris Rail, and Opper had the front man. Both of them were covered well.
Lamp, end over ender. Makar is going to let it bounce. Yeah, Chardon won't come out of it too badly at the 43-yard line.
Got a good bounce. Makar was trying to catch it. He was too far away, and finally he had to back off, because any catch he would have made would have been a very dangerous one. But we'll have to see if Chardon goes wild or if they just try to get you know, good yardage and try to get the 3 out of this.
I vote for wild.
I vote for wild too. Yeah, I think
so, second quarter action here at Mollenkopf Stadium. Chardon leads it by a score of 7-0. 1:34 to go.
Good, even match. I thought going into this would be a well-matched game, and so far it hasn't disappointed at all. These are two good teams out here.
Quick hitter, it's Hewitt. And Hewitt falls into Potter territory at the 49-yard line. Clock will continue to move. See if Chardon has called a couple plays in the huddle, or they're just going to take their time. Rusty Opper now will come into the game to bring in the play.
Yeah, they are taking their time. I guess they...
You know, Ryan, a little sense of urgency now in the huddle. Sends Opper to the near side. There you see him in the lower left-hand part of your screen, and they'll send John Landstrom now goes to the far side. 2nd down and 4. Under a minute to go, first half, as Davis throws. Fires, looks, has Makar wide open at the 25. Scott falls forward to the 22, maybe the 23. That will stop the clock as they move the chains, and Ryan Davis gets his offensive unit to the line of scrimmage, or into the huddle soon as he can. Watch it again.
Yeah, as Makar got open up there, I'll tell you, they are approaching field goal range here already. You know, it's not going to take a lot to get them forward where they can make an attempt at the field goal.
Down to the 23, it's a 1st down and 10. Ryan to throw again. Rolls out, he's got some running room if he chooses to take it, and he does. Tries to juke around Jackson and can't do it. May want to take a timeout here, and they do. Scott Makar that is almost tackled the linesman on the near side to get the timeout.
Yeah,
32 seconds to go.
Watch their secondary just drop off here. They're looking pass all the way. That's what opened it up. If Jackson hadn't made that tackle, Davis could have got for good yardage, because they really dropped off deep expecting pass out of Chardon that time.
That was an excellent open field tackle by Jackson, because Ryan Davis is, as we've seen already, not easy to bring down in the open field.
Not at all. He's very elusive. He can cut outside, inside on you. You know, and he's a strong runner, so, you know, you can't just go with an arm tackle or something. He's very elusive. Like you said, that was an excellent job by Jackson out there.
So a 2nd down and 10 when play resumes. We should tell you that though tonight's cablecast is not funded by your cable subscriber franchise fees, we'd like to again extend thanks to the GTV funding communities of Burton Township, Burton Village, Chardon Township, Chardon Village, Hamden Township, and Middlefield Village. All 6 of these communities have renewed their contracts with GTV, so we're thrilled to be able to continue to bring you local public service programming with a special emphasis on those communities. Thanks again for supporting GTV, and thanks to our viewers for their support. And the response has been absolutely wonderful, and I ran into a lot of people this week that fortunately don't know what I look like, that said, boy, we're watching that Chardon game this weekend. So a lot of people are out there. Pass underneath the Chuha, and Ben will be close to a 1st down. Got to hurry up.
Yeah, got it.
Down to 20 seconds to go. They may want to take that other timeout.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get the ball spotted, try to get the play
14.
run. They're going to save it for the field goal attempt, which he just downed it.
So Davis spikes the football, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 1. Unfortunately, Ben couldn't pull those defenders any further, because if he'd have had the first down, they'd have stopped the clock. Let's go down to the field, and here's Tim.
Ryan Davis stops the clock on 4th down.
Yeah, they've stopped the clock. Fine.
Fourth down
One thing that East Liverpool
Ball to the
is finding out
15-yard line.
that Chardon's defense is for real. The Potters this year,
Timeout,
their lowest
Hilltoppers.
offensive output is 22 points, and that was in the loss to Salem, 29-22. So the Potters are finding out what it's like to go against a real defense in this first half, right?
Well, they sure are, Tim, and I tell you what, this defense, again, offense always gets the ink because those are the guys that scores the points, but a lot of those defenses are the ones that keep you in it, and Chardon's defense, once again, where they throw 5 shutouts this year, right?
I believe so. This was a good play. Got him the yardage. Chardon's going to try the field goal. We got about a 32-yarder. And, you know, without those additional 5 yards they pick on that might take it just a hair too much out of range, where Chardon would just have to try the thing. But this is within Makar's range.
Absolutely.
This would be a big one. Unfortunately, he doesn't have much practice at field goals this year because the offense scores touchdowns.
That's true.
You know,
let's hope that East Liverpool has to replay this field goal make on their website next week as the one that may have extended Chardon's season. Makar, plenty of leg into that thing, and it is good. Scott Makar from 32 yards out. And Chardon has taken a 10-0 lead, and nothing like a score late in the half. Plus, you get the ball back to start the second half.
Oh, yeah, that's nice, and that definitely puts a hole in it. I'll tell you, I'm not exactly sure what his range is. They didn't need that 5 yards. They could have, God, he could have kicked a 50-yarder with that one. That one had plenty of leg on it. Watch this ball just sail nice and true. Look at the leg on it. It's over the top of the goalpost. Settles in and went over the back fence there. There was plenty of leg. He could have kicked that one from 42 easily.
Did you see Scott sporting the new hairdo tonight, which is none?
Yes, that's right. It doesn't take long to comb or dry.
Very manageable, very manageable.
He's gone through some hairdos this season, I'll tell you. He's gone through an amazing array of hairdos.
I don't know, most of the one thing I've noticed about following this team is at least guys our age are superstitious. I mean, I got the same sweater on because they won last week. Players don't seem to mind because Makar changes his hair all the time. It doesn't seem to make a bit of difference. But I did track down Marty Makar before the game. Shook his hand just like we did last week. Keep the thing going. We are hoping that we'll be doing that in week 4.
It's working very, very well, yes. Yeah, that was a big drive there. They got the ball back with not much time, took it down the field, got the 3 out of it. I'll tell you, that 3 is very, very important. That puts it in the 2-score category.
You got that right. Makar will squib it. Oh, it takes a bounce, but the clock will start. Jackson has it. Oh, boy. Jackson gets tripped up nicely there by Jason Hilker. Ooh, that could have been dangerous.
He was cutting against it.
We have played one half of football here at Mollenkopf Stadium, and the Chardon Hilltoppers lead it by a score of 10-0. Before we bring you the Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band, we should tell you that tonight's ball game is being brought to you by Kinetico Incorporated, by Junction Auto Sales, by Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, 5 generations dedicated to honesty, dignity, and service since 1859, by the law firm of Newman, Leary, and Bryce, and by Clemson Excavating. Tonight's game also brought to you by Boswick's True Value Hardware and Chardon Dairy Queen, by Max Dugan's Restaurant and Lounge and Chardon Square Auto Body, by Gary's Towing and Service for all your automotive needs, and Freeland Associates Certified Public Accountants, by Howder's Lawn and Sport. Honda and Cub Cadet snow throwers are now in stock, and Lawson Ford and Mercury. Chardon Metal Products, ISO 9002 certified, and Rent-A-Wreck cars, vans, and truck rentals. By Hamden Building Products for all your building needs. By Civic and Associates Certified Public Accountants and Management Consultants. By A.J. Goulder Electric Company and Richards Maple Products. Gift packages year-round. Call for our free brochure. by Skylar Painting, 285-5471, commercial, industrial, and residential. And Midas Auto Systems, exhaust, brakes, suspension, and tires, by Munson Corners Sunoco and Alvord Insurance Agency. By Residence Artists for all your painting and remodeling needs, as well as Ayrshire Corporation. By Chardon Auto Parts for all your auto parts needs, and by Quay Buick. Buick stands for quality, and quality begins with QUA. By Kent's Transport Incorporated, bulk haulers. By Home and Business Storage, 204 5th Avenue and US 422 in Troy, 285-3653. By the Maple Leaf Restaurant, 540 Water Street, and Peterson and Ibold, attorneys at law. And by GTV, local public service programming for Burton Township, Burton Village, Chardon Township, Chardon Village, Hamden Township, and Middlefield Village. GTV, we're here for you. And we should tell you that tonight's game is not brought to you by any of those funds, as we've talked about, but all those sponsors that you have seen on the screen a couple times tonight. Do us a favor, pick up the phone, give them a call. Even if you're not going to buy anything, call them up and say thanks for donating to the cause so we can bring you Chardon Hilltopper football in the playoffs one more year. It's just amazing to me how many people have stepped up year in and year out to help us, and that was just a list of the ones that have done it this year. We want to thank them very much. But really, pick up the phone, give them a call, let them know how much you enjoyed it. We will be back after the Chardon Hilltopper Band. The score at the half, Chardon 10 and East Liverpool nothing.
such a warm evening night tonight, we need to get up and dance. Get ready to jitterbug with tonight's favorite, Sing, Sing, Sing. Now enjoy the medley of tunes from one of America's favorite all-time bands. Here's the medley from the Beach Boys.
hope you enjoyed the Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. We're just a couple seconds away from kickoff here in the second half. I'm Craig Dees along with John Walsh. Down on the field, we'll be going shortly to Tim Kelby. Good first half for Chardon, and hoping for the same in the second half. But defensively, what a job they've done on Jackson.
Oh, yeah, they've taken him pretty much out of the game. And I'll tell you again, I mentioned this earlier in the season in one of our broadcasts. That defense, sometimes they got that rubber band quality. They come through, let a team drive on them, but when it's time for the big play, they're right there for it. They shut them down. A very potent offense they shut down in the first half.
And speaking of big plays, here's our big play guy down on the field. Here's Tim Kelby.
Hey, Craig, and you know, next week, the winner of this game, speculation and talking to a couple of the prominent school officials that next week's contest, week 13, will be held at either Byersfield in Parma or at Baldwin Wallace.
Ooh, that's a good venue there. What about no talk of Bearcat Stadium in Bedford?
No talk of Bedford Stadium. It's BW or Byersfield.
And by the time you see this, folks, you'll have known who won the Mayfield game, but they're tied 21-21. And that's where Tim and I were driving down today trying to figure out where exactly, if Mayfield and Chardon hooked up, where would you play? Bearcat Stadium in Bedford is close.
That's the one.
Other than that, you have to go on the west side, you know.
For an artificial surface, the closest one you got is Bedford. That's the most, little closer for Mayfield, but still no huge travel distance for Chardon.
Well, you have to wonder if they feel that it can hold enough people.
It's a good-sized stadium, but I don't know. It's every week you're going to get more people. It's very possible some of the Eastlake fans, assuming they don't win, might still go to the game. You know, it's kind of one of those, you got an interest in it. You want to see what happens because, you know, you're there.
Rick Lamp will kick off. Scott Mackar goes back deep, and Jay Hillkirk is back there with him. So 10-0, Chardon leads it. We are ready to begin quarter number 3 in the quest for the state. Mackar going to take it on the bounce. It dies at the 14. Flags coming flying in. Looks like a clip against Chardon. And the ball will be down at the 21-yard line, but I think this one's going to go back 15 more because of a clip.
Well, not 15 from that point. You know, there'll be a half the distance, but should have put it somewhere in a 10.5-yard line range.
And clipping is the call against the Hilltoppers, so they will be marched back.
See if we can pick up the infraction here. It's a little out of sync because that ball kind of died on him, and oh yeah, right there is the clip. You can see that player, I couldn't catch a number, but flashing by the screen with blocking in the back.
So they'll spot it at the 10-yard line. It'll be a first down and 10 for Chardon.
I'm sure we got adjustments made on the defensive side of the ball here because they got to take away that option there. That's the one play that probably killed them the most, that and the passing attack from Davis.
Hewitt over the right side gets another 5, maybe 6 yards. Chardon would love to start the second half the way they did the first half with their first drive, and a nice sustained drive down the field. And if we go back to one of our earlier broadcasts this year, John, remember the drive at Erie Prep, 8 minutes and some seconds to start the second half, and that spelled doom for Erie.
Wow. Looking at that replay, that looked like a bad spot. I didn't see, they moved it back to about the 15-yard, just over the 15. I didn't see a knee go down for Hewitt at all. It looked like he did bounce out to, you know, closer to the 20-yard line.
Jason Weimer knocks down Hewitt again, and he will be about 3 yards shy of the first down, about 3.5 yards. Jason Hillkirk will bring in the third down play for the Hilltoppers.
Here's our first big play of the second half right here. Chardon doesn't want to give up the ball this deep in their territory because East Liverpool's going to have good field position. East Liverpool's got to hold them here. You know, they got to get themselves right back into this ball game. So this turns out to be a big play early in the second half.
3rd and 4. And it's Hewitt, and depending on the spot, he needed to get to the 21-yard line to get the first down, and he might be oh boy.
Looks like they marked it a little short. Yeah, it looks like it's a little bit about on, well, that's darn close.
You see the pile pushes, the linesman comes in, and it's going to be first down.
Wow.
I'm glad they didn't measure that one.
That thing's
'Cause
right
I'm not
on
sure
the
he got
hash.
it.
Yeah, it's right on the hash mark, and it looks like the nose of the ball's on the mark, and they had to go a hair over it.
That's what I thought. That's why we're glad they didn't measure it.
Unless we got that bad an angle here, but it looks like the nose of that ball is sitting right on the 21-yard line
First
stripe.
down and 10. Again, it's Hewitt into the open field, and the foot race is on.
No
and Mitch
catching
may
him.
be gone. He is to
No
the 20.
catching him.
And he is gone from 79 yards out. Mitch Hewitt.
The only one that had a shot at catching him was Scott Mackar, and I don't think he was going to trip him. He was just there for the celebration. Wow, they just opened up on that left side, opened a big lane there. Watch, see the up front blocking there. Look at that lane development. Oh man, nice block there by Krebs. He just blew his man way out to the outside. There's Mackar. He's looking back. I'm not throwing nothing because they're not going to catch my boy Mitch.
79 yards, Mitch Hewitt.
That's the type of thing that can open up. Like I said, they had to seal Davis on the outside. And boy, that's the potency of the Chardon offense. Hewitt coming right up the gut is going to burn you just as bad.
17-0, Chardon leads it on the Scott Mackar extra point. So with 10:09 to go here in the third quarter, Chardon on their first drive of the second half stuffs it in the end zone. And that's what we talked about with 4 minutes to go in the half. Plenty of time for Chardon for a sustained drive, but more importantly, the fact that just on a quick hitter, a left tackle, a little belly play to the right side, boom, 79 yards can be had.
And I'll tell you, that's got to break the hearts of that Potter team because they had them pinned deep. They had them back almost just outside of their 10-yard line there. 90 yards to go. You know, everything seemed to be going the way they wanted the second half to start. Pushed the chains ahead for that first down, and like you said, boom, you got 6 points up on that board.
All right, Tim, how did it look from down there?
Hey, Craig, Scott Mackar, no stranger to big numbers. 79 yards, the longest touchdown run of the year for him. One of the games earlier this year against Vermilion, Scott racked up 208 yards on the ground. So big numbers for Scott.
So 17-0, Chardon leads it, third quarter.
Yeah, I think we got virtue of a better angle from up here. We can see the numbers better. That was a Hewitt on the touchdown. Mackar was chasing him.
So a couple of 79-yard touchdowns for both of them guys now.
Yep.
Mackar with the kick. And it is kicked around and knocked on the ground, and it is picked up. Jackson has it, and Jackson is going to be taken down at the 24-yard line. Boy, I was going to say this is almost too scary like Erie Prep, because remember, as soon as Chardon had that long drive, Erie Prep couldn't get out of their own way in the third quarter and was kicking the ball all over the place.
Yeah, that was a dangerous one there because they had it sealed up, getting all the breaks, and Jackson was just going to reverse field on it. Luckily, there were a couple of Chardon defenders out there able to take him down with no damage, but that's one of those, it's out of sync, so anything could happen. You know, and Jackson definitely has the breakaway speed.
Gino Williams was the one who was kicking it around there. Jackson splits through a hole, and Tim Smith is there to knock him down. Gain of only a yard or so, maybe two.
I like to see a replay on that one. Number 68 was out there blocking some. I don't know exactly how he got underneath. I don't know if Smith pushed him down. Here, watch here. See what happens here. Yeah, that. I don't know what that guy was doing down there, but
unfortunately,
I think he was trying to get to Smith, and somehow he just couldn't get to him. But irregardless of the fact, good defensive play by Smith held him to a very short gain.
Gain of 2, second down and 8, and Maurice Brown to throw, being chased, being grabbed, and being sacked back at the 17-yard line.
Yep, he had Platts having a shot at him. Landstrom finished off by Luke Chuha, number 4 out there. That was just team effort. All of a sudden, Brown's looking. Good scrambling ability and all that, but he's never seen speed up front like he's seen here.
And the crowd is not booing, they're chewing down below.
Oh, yeah. That's a classic. Chew. Yeah, that's kind of like the old Boog Powell cheer. You know, you hear boog, boog.
Okay, well, third down and 15. We'll get to Timmy right after this. Big play for the defense as Brown to throw again, and the pass is incomplete. that was ill-fated from the get-go, intended for Ryan Roberts. And the Chardon defense comes out very fired up to start the third quarter. Let's go down to the field, and there's Tim Kelby. Timmy.
Craig, that was like a blur with Hewitt scoring that touchdown, wasn't it? Number 31 touchdowns on the air. Oh, well, 29-31, what can you say? 6 points for Chardon.
It's heck to get old, Tim. Your eyes start going. Oh, boy, I'm going to have some fun with him on the ride home later
Mackar
on.
was chasing him.
Yeah.
He was there. He just stood in the way.
What a punt by Rick Lamp, taken by Mackar. This flag is going to fly against Jay Hilkirk. The defender turned around on Hilkirk, and they're going to call a clip on him, and that'll move the ball back to about the 30-yard line. Clipping will be the call.
That was a good advice. They had that punt sealed up pretty nice. Mackar just looked, saw there was nowhere to go, took the little lane up the middle, grabbed a handful, but unfortunately it is going to be pushed back on the penalty. Big discussion on this one.
Yeah, Ryan Davis is in there, and I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
Scott Mackar is.
Are they trying to figure out maybe a no flag? Are we going to pick it up? Do we really see anything, or what are they going to do here?
Ryan Davis is out there trying to get the ball moved the other way. I mean, why not? May as well politic for it. Clipping the call against, and a face mask against the Potters.
Offset?
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what they're going to do with it. The ball would be spotted where? At the 49?
Well,
I don't even see the football anywhere right now.
Clip is marked off where it happens. And the face mask, obviously at the end of the play, I would guess. They must have grabbed Mackar's face mask. Well, they're sorting this one down on the field. I'm not exactly sure.
What we saw last week with the way they were spotting footballs.
They're moving it back.
And it will offset. Nope.
What? I don't understand. I guess. I don't know.
Clipping against the Hilltoppers.
Wait, that's even a crazier explanation. Chardon declined the face mask, but Potters accepted the. I don't understand. That should have been offsetting. Just play it where it's at.
Well, Bob's not complaining down on the sideline. I don't know what the problem is. Maybe Tim can get us some clarification on that.
Just the order of the fouls offsets them.
First down and 10. And in the open field is Hewitt, and Hewitt gets the first down as he rambles his way up to the 43-yard line.
Well, the way this offense is moving right now, penalty's not going to hurt them.
So it's a first down and 10 for the Hilltoppers. Jason Hilkirk comes back into the game. Clock is running. 8 minutes and 9 seconds to go here in the third quarter. I'm Craig Dees along with John Walsh, Tim Kelby down on the field. Glad you could join us for GTV's presentation of Chardon Hilltopper football.
We'll try to find exactly where Tim is, see if he's trying to get an explanation on that. Oh, big hole open
gets the opening, and the foot race is on once again, and Mitch is knocked out of bounds inside the 30.
Yeah, that time they had the angle on him. But again, they open up that big lane on the left side, led by Krebs again.
Steve Mayo on the tackle.
Well, I tell you, they're just blocking something fierce up there, opening up huge lanes. Watch the blocking up front. It's just a straight ahead handoff over there. Cuts against the grain. You got Kramer just pushing the whole pile away there. Krebs is trailing after the play. Boy, they're just taking control of that line of scrimmage this second half.
First and 10 from the 29. This time it's Mackar, and Mackar gets met at the line of scrimmage, is able to fight for a yard or so. Up off the bottom of the pile was Matt Salisbury. First time we've called him tonight.
I believe so, and for their leading tackler and All-Ohio candidate, that just tells you what those linemen are doing. There's just no other explanation. You got somebody that just game after game as their leader in tackles, plays a position that should be a leader in tackles, is up for All-Ohio honors and everything, and all of a sudden he's just not apparent on the field. That offensive line is doing a heck of a job.
Scott Mackar again tries to bounce it outside. Tim Smith helping him out with the block. Now he's going to come back. It's a good block from Davis. Hurdles over Josh Yeager and picks up 4 yards, ran about 35 yards to do it.
Oh, at
picks
least,
up 4.
at least 35 yards. Like you said, that he did have that. You got a little bit of a limping from Mackar coming off the field. I think he might have twisted that again. Watch the block by Davis. That's the impressive thing. He gets there. He is right there, number 2 coming in the screen. Watch him catching the guy coming across the grain there. Boom. Didn't really have that big of an impact because he was taking on a big chunk, but he got enough of him to slow him down, keep him off his ball carrier, allow him to get that 4-yard gain.
Davis to throw. Half the battle when you're blocking is just to get in somebody's way. Opper. Is it
they call interception on that
right
half-yard line.
At the goal line? It is picked off. I think that was Nate Jones, number 12. And Nate picks it off, took it away from the intended receiver at the half-yard line.
Boy, I'll tell you, this plays right into almost 2-point category because this is the strength of this Chardon. East Liverpool doesn't have the luxury. Yeah, that was a proper call by the referee.
It's a great catch.
They don't have the luxury here of doing any, because they don't have room to do anything fancy. They got to go straight up the gut. Chardon, knowing that, can seal up the middle, and I'll tell you, with their quickness and penetration, this is a possible 2-point territory.
You can see how deep Jackson is in the backfield. And they hand it to Robert Jackson. He hurdles his way to near the 4-yard line. So a little bit of breathing room there.
Yeah, that definitely helped. They got a good line charge that time, open up the left side of their offense, and were able to get the ball out where now they do have that breathing room. This opens up a little bit more of the things you can do with your offense. Half-yard line, there isn't much you can do except run between tackles because you got to hit quick and you got to hit straight. You can't have any lateral movement because that could be 2 points for the other school.
5 minutes and 38 seconds remain in the third quarter. There's a 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard gain. They go to the fullback Rail, and Rail just gets to the 7-yard line, so he'll still be 4 yards short of a first down. Chardon leads it 17-0. A 79-yard touchdown by Mitch Hewitt early on here in the third quarter has given Chardon a little bit of breathing room. Scott Mackar, we're told, is just a little bit of a cramp, nothing serious. You see him back out on the field there, grabbing and trying to stretch that leg out.
Yeah, I didn't think it was much, so he just had a little bit of a hop to his gait. Hop to his gait? What exactly does that mean?
Hitching the old giddy up.
There you go. That's the words I was looking for.
3rd and 4, they pitch it to Jackson in the open field. He's got one man to beat, and the foot race is on, and he's going to go all the way 93 yards for the touchdown. So Robert Jackson showing why he is a premier back. Wow.
Yeah, they opened up that left side for him, and he was just open the wheels and let's get moving here because he does have some speed there. The only man that had a shot at him was Dan Merritt, but he didn't have enough speed to catch Jackson when he got those legs running. Look, they just sealed off the outside there and just gave him the whole lane to take off in. Yeah, he's got those long strides there.
On the hole, number 8, Jason Duke.
Well, that's 2 long breakaways where the team was pinned deep and they just came away and scored a long touchdown.
Lamp's extra point is no good. Missed it to the left. So with 4 minutes and 37 seconds to go, the Chardon lead is 11. So now you're forcing a couple of different scenarios on the other side of the field, but
yeah,
17-6.
Yeah, that makes it that, well, they obviously have to go for 2 points if they do push the ball in the end zone. One of the problems they had here was, again, this is through the history of Potter football, but we found out they started the season with no kicker, had to turn Lamp into one because the guy that they were counting on to do their kicking for him became ineligible for some reason, wasn't able to kick. Lamp's kind of a converted kicker who's just doing a job, but he's still not well practiced, well versed in the art of kicking. So that isn't one of their strengths. But earlier in the year they were having pretty good blowouts, so the kicking game really didn't come into effect. But in a game of this magnitude, you got to have the consistent kicking.
Ryan Davis at the 13 with a huge hole up the middle into the open field. Turns the corner and is going to be roughed out of, or not out of bounds, but across midfield into Potter territory before he is finally brought down by Steve Mayo for Ryan Davis. Nice way to get the offense in good field position. Hey,
I'll tell you, one of the things I hear from a lot of fans is, why does he put the starting quarterback back receiving kicks? Well, I guess that answers your question. Because you get the ball across the midfield stripe, because you got somebody with speed, breakaway ability, good hands and all, and it definitely paid off there.
So the ball is at the 48.5-yard line. Mitch Hewitt just does get back to the line of scrimmage. He is covered by Josh Milhone.
Yeah, they really didn't open up that time. He tried to go off to the left side a little bit there. There was just no lane open up. Might have actually lost just a little bit. At best, got back to the line of scrimmage.
Second down and 10.5.
You have to see what if this Potter defense could get fired up here, and if that touchdown could give them a little bit of momentum to stop, because thus far Chardon's been moving the ball in the second half at will.
Davis going to keep it. Davis stays on his feet and gets shoved forward to the 41-yard line, so he'll be a couple of yards shy of the first down. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2.
Yeah, again, the one nice thing you can see here, Davis goes out on the option here. Well, I guess we're a little too low on the field to see exactly. Takes the inside lane again, goes, gets caught up there. One of their defenders comes from behind and, like Greg said, pushes them forward. And for a couple of extra yards, we've got 3rd and say 3 yards here.
The Potter faithful up on their feet on the far side, trying to get the defense for a stop. Hewitt, first down.
Yep.
Forward progress gets them the first down by a yard, down to the 38-yard line. So the drive continues for Chardon. The clock will stop to move the chains. 2 minutes, 58 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Actually, I didn't think that was that good a spot, but it was still enough for the first down. I thought he was close to a yard further than they actually marked the ball, but regardless, the chains are picked up and moved.
Hope you're enjoying Chardon Hilltopper action here on GTV. If Chardon goes on next week, which we're hoping, we could be back. Depends on if the public television station in town picks it up or not. One way or the other, you get to see the game. And then hopefully we'll be down at either Fawcett Stadium or Paul Brown Stadium to do the state finals. As Davis tripped up, kind of ran up the back of Mitch Hewitt, lost his footing on the turf and falls down at the 41-yard line for a loss of 3. Salisbury's going to get credit for the tackle, but Hewitt tackled him basically.
Yeah, he must have taken on the blocker in front and made it. Yeah, he was the one that was taking on the blocker that made Davis try to bounce it to the outside there. Got his feet tangled and went down. You got to give somebody the tackle, so that's who they gave it to.
See the referee standing back at the 45-yard line. He has earmuffs on, and Coach Thayer across the way has a short sleeve shirt on. Hewitt, nothing. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Coming up was Josh Yeager.
Yeah, Potter fans are starting to get back into the game again. So we got Chardon coming up with the 3rd down and about 14 yards to go on this one. Hewitt comes out of the game, Chuhai in to replace him.
So 3rd down and 13, clock is running, minute 24 to go, 3rd quarter. Rusty Opper goes to the far side. You see him on the upper right-hand corner, now at the top of the screen.
I wonder if we're going to the air and see if he uses his tight ends on this.
Davis to throw, has the time, looking deep, has Opper.
Macar.
Oh, check it, that's Macar.
Oh, did he lay it up there, and Macar just beat his man, got behind him.
down to the 2-yard line. Scott, I was looking at Opper because I thought it was heading in his direction. I didn't even see Scott down the middle of the field.
Yeah, they sent 2 guys out in the same area in the pattern, 1 deep, 1 short. Boy, he laid it right in there, though. Makar had to slow down just a hair. Coming back, beat his man, pulls it in, makes sure he can put the ball away. Not worrying about the break, and Chardon's right back again, knocking for more.
Nate Jones on the tackle.
1 minute left in the 3rd quarter.
First down and goal from the 2. It's Hewitt, puts his head down, touchdown. Mitch Hewitt goes in from 2 yards out, and Chardon has answered the Potter score. Mitch has done that all year long.
Yeah, this is just, I'll tell you, my one question coming into this game was, how would the offense react, you know, as far as getting movement here in this playoff game against what's a pretty good defense? And I'll tell you, they've reacted extremely well. The defense has done everything they were expected to do. So far, we've had 1 breakdown where they got the corner on the long run, but short of that, they've shut off a powerful offense. And I'll tell you, their offense has really done a super job today.
Scott Makar's extra point is good. So with 51 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter, Chardon has extended the lead to 24-6. Before we go any further, I want to remind you that don't forget birthdays, anniversaries, and other special occasions can be made more special through GTV. Send that terrific picture or pictures to us and we'll highlight the event. Please enclose a self-addressed stamped envelope. Once again, our address is GTV, Post Office Box 336, Chardon, Ohio 44024.
We just took advantage of that this week. Put my son's Kyle's picture up there. A couple of embarrassing child pictures, you know.
It's just not fair. I don't
on into his 8th grade. I put his closing one was his 8th grade football picture, which is he was very happy with. And he ran it all week. It's surprising the number of people that watch that. It's incredible. A lot of his friends.
It's good stuff, John. Of course they're watching it.
What I meant to say was, forgive me,
You
Dave.
sound surprised.
I know not what I say. Well, okay.
Like I said, when I was out and about in Chardon this week, I'm not from Chardon, but I happened to stop by. And the amount of people that were talking about Chardon football was just great. I mean, it was really, it is the essence of the small town. I mean, I live out in Perry, and when you go around in Perry, they talk about football, they talk about basketball, they talk about these kids, just like they do in Chardon. And I mean, it speaks volumes across the way as well, East Liverpool.
Yes, you look at all these people that drove a good hour.
Yeah,
good
easy.
hour 15 maybe for Liverpool, this being roughly a halfway point.
Makar's kick will drop, and it is covered again. I think that was Gino Williams. Gino's had a little trouble. No, it wasn't Gino. Who? Oh, that was Maurice Brown.
Irregardless, that's twice here.
He's not used to catching them. He's used to throwing them.
Yeah, if the center doesn't hand it to him, he can't hold it. I tell you, they do have a play which I can see them pulling out here quick. They used it against Uniontown, and they used it in their loss earlier in the year against Salem. They hand off to Brown going around his left. Well, I'm sorry, they hand off to Jackson going to his left while Brown goes out to the right for a touchdown or for a pass. So I'm sure they're going to have to start pulling out some of their trickery here to try to get back into this game.
Ryan Roberts with 4 yards.
Yeah, because right now we're ticking down. We're 35 seconds on the clock, and they'll probably get one more playoff, and that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter here.
So 2nd down and 6 yards to go.
Yeah, I think East Liverpool's a little bit shell-shocked right now with the offense that the Chardons put up tonight.
Well, they thought they had him. 3rd down, what was 3rd down and 10 or 3rd and 13? They throw on the run, and the pass is caught. No, incomplete. That was a heck of an effort by Gino Williams.
I could see a short hop on that one, though, as it hit the ground. I guess we will get another play. I forgot about the occasion of a pass. You're watching, it hits the ground just a little bit before it gets to, what was that, Gino Williams, you said? Watch, the ball will hit just a little bit short of his hands. Well, you couldn't really see it there.
helping out the officials. The official behind the play couldn't see that. He was blocked off.
No, there's no way he can make that call.
But the linesman on this side went squirting up. 9 seconds to go. Third down and 6.
Twins right.
Brown to throw again. Brown steps up, throws across the middle, and it's incomplete, and a flag's going to fly. Rob Green was knocked down by Dan Merritt, and Dan got there just a little bit before the football did.
I tell you, Tim Smith was in on quarterback Brown, too. Just hitting him as he was about to release the ball. Here earlier, it would have been. Well, they don't agree with that call over here. We'll have to look on the replay, see if we can, you know, now that we got perspective what we're looking for, make the call.
Oh, there was bodies all over. I think Rob Green tried to come back and couldn't do it because the defender was behind him. So that'll be 15 yards, and that'll be a first down for the Potters. So they have new life, first down and 10 at their own 48 seconds, and this more than likely will be the last play of quarter number 3. They run the option, they pitch it back to Jackson, and Jackson gets tackled by Hewitt at midfield, and we have played 3 quarters of football here at Mollenkoff Stadium in Warren, Ohio, as the Chardon Hilltoppers, with a commanding 24-6 lead. The crowd below comes to their feet.
As well they should, because this is, you know, they're looking at it. We're 12 minutes away from going to the semis.
And they're hoping they can hang on. The Potter faithful hoping for a big comeback here in quarter number 4. Let's go down to the field once again. Here's Tim Kelby. Tim?
Well, Craig, like we always talk about, we got to stay in a routine with the same clothes and everything else like that. While things are going good, we're going to stay in the same routine and talk with Chardon Athletic Director Bob Francis. And Bob, you get a chance during the course of the week to get around the community, and we know that you know, the players have revenge in their mind against East Liverpool. How about the people in the community? They talk about it a lot?
Well, I don't think anyone was looking forward to playing East Liverpool because they're a very good football team, as you can see here. But I think being in the playoff is exciting enough, but playing East Liverpool after the emotional loss down there last year just adds a little more edge to the game, and it makes it all that much more exciting. A lot of people, I know, were tuned into the replay of the game that you guys showed last couple of days, and you know, calls and people I've been in touch with selling tickets. They're excited to play, just be in the playoffs, and just a little edge here with seeing Liverpool again.
Well, so far so good. 3 quarters in the book. Hopefully we'll have the Bob Francis third quarter show next week in week 13.
I hope so. 12 more minutes. Ain't over yet.
Okay, Craig?
Thanks very much, Tim. You can't break with tradition, Tim. You can't do it. You'll see that hopefully I'll prove myself right. There's a reverse, and here comes Rob Green, and Green gets spun around, initially hit by Brian Smith, finally covered by Chris Dakowitz. Good pursuit by Dakowitz.
Yeah, that's the kind of play I was referring to. They're going to have to empty out the playbook and come up with any little gimmicky thing they can get, try to break this Chardon defense, and that obviously wasn't the one. He got some yards, but not the big yardage they're hoping for in something like this.
Chardon's going to take a timeout.
There were, what, 3, 4 different guys that hit on him? Yeah, that play really didn't have a future.
Yeah, flying in there at the end was Luke Chuha. We should tell you that high school sports continues all winter long as we cover Berkshire, Cardinal, and Chardon sports, including basketball and wrestling. So check out GTV regularly for replay dates and times. We'll also be airing several holiday programs next month. So check channel 24 for that information as well. The holidays are right around the corner, and it'd be nice if we get through the holidays and Chardon's still alive in the playoffs, so we can continue this thing next week and hopefully 1 week after that.
Yeah, let's spend the first weekend of December down in Massillon. That sounds like a good plan.
They are splitting the games up this year. They're having some of them at Canton, but I'm not sure. I haven't looked far enough ahead. I don't want to do that. I want to be surprised. Do you know where is it going to be?
I study that. It's Division 3 and 4 at Canton. It's the 2 middle games that they're going to move out. It's pretty much to empty out the parking lot.
Right.
Because for the first game, when the second game's coming in, there was that cross flow, and they had the problem. So they just took the middle games out, put them into Canton.
That's a good idea.
The first and the third game are still going to remain at the Massillon Paul Brown Stadium.
There you have it. Thanks. Now I know.
And I knew that one. I did not get that off the East Liverpool website.
Red Jevnikar's throwing stuff at me because he knows where it is. The ball is spotted at the 40. And it is first down and 10. They split Geno Williams out to the far side. Jackson bounces around the outside, tries the corner, and gets knocked out of bounds by Tim Smith.
Boy, he's got long strides, which makes him quick. Yeah, he's a good-looking running back. Saw the stats. I was a little skeptical with a 6'4", 185 running back, but he's definitely a quality back.
Well, you heard Bob Thayer in the pregame say that he is not your prototype running back because of that size, but he puts the numbers up. 140 yards a game, not too bad.
Good balance, good speed coming out of that lanky body. As Liverpool's moving the chains, trying to get themselves, they can't afford to turn the ball over at all. They got to get every ball they have, they got to put it into the end zone.
Chris Rail picks up about 3 yards on a first down. Hewitt comes up off the bottom of the pile, or will be soon coming up off the bottom of the pile.
There he is, helped up by his teammates.
And also Luke Chua was in there. I'll check that. They give Ryan Roberts the carry.
Again, they mentioned Chuha's name out over the PA. You heard the Chew. It's funny how you get some of those classic names that just call for a chant. It's just an automatic thing.
Second down and a long 7. Pass is incomplete. Geno Williams, I don't know if he gave up on the pattern or what the problem was, because he was standing absolutely flat-footed when that ball was thrown.
Yeah, which is strange. If you're out wide in the open, you want to do that. But he had Mackar covering him from behind, so. And I'm not sure Brown just threw the ball. I think he was getting a little bit of pressure up front and decided he didn't want any more of those hits from that position. I'm just getting rid of it.
Maurice Brown rushed for 760 yards on the season, passed for 779.
He hasn't been much of a factor in the running game tonight either.
He's going to try to keep it on the option and wishes he hadn't, because he gets spun around by Dakowitz and Chua and knocked down. He does get a tough yard out of it. Knocked him down hard enough for the towel to come flying out of his belt.
Yeah, Dakowitz that time just came across as he tried to cut back, grabs him around the waist and spins him around. Watch here, you're going to see Dakowitz just grab his waist, spin him around, and throw him down to the turf.
Got to give a little assist to John Landstrom on there, because John came in and spun him back in Dakowitz's direction, and the Potters will take time.
Oh, there's one of those legendary, one of the cheerleaders has one of those defenses.
So the Potters take timeout. Both teams now with 2 timeouts remaining. There's 9:45 to go here in the ball game. Chardon with a 24-6 lead. And the way the defense is playing, you got to be feeling pretty good if you're on Chardon's side. And Tim, what's going on down on? How cold is it down there? I'm going to ask you a question first.
I'm going to ask a question first. I'll tell you what, it's not too bad down here at all.
All right.
A little bit of dew on the field, and you know the bare spots in the middle are a little muddy. But all in all, you know, the great night, great weather night you look for in high school football. But what I was going to make a comment on is we talked about this on the way down. How would you like to feel? How would you like to be Steubenville? You know, this year Steubenville has lost to Chardon in the regular season. They lost for the first time in 34 years to East Liverpool in Week 10. They lost to Dover, who obviously lost to Chardon last week. And another one of their losses this year was to Zanesville, who just missed out. So, you know, Steubenville's got to, boy, look at the teams they lost to.
Well, they're not dodging anybody on that schedule, I'll tell you that much.
No doubt about that.
3 playoff teams and 1 near playoff team.
At least you can appreciate the fact why you lost, because, you know, you schedule quality teams, and that's really what a school needs to do.
4th down and 6. Maurice Brown to throw. Launches it, and it is incomplete. Right through the hands of Rob Green. And Chardon will take the football back over on downs. right at the 25-yard line. So the Hilltoppers just looking right now, not necessarily to score, but to get a nice sustained drive, and if they score, it's a bonus.
Yeah, you can see it's a little bit high, but it was catchable. As Dan Merritt comes from behind. He had good secondary coverage back there. The ball was delivered a little bit on the high side, but that's the kind of catch you got to make. I mean, this is your season right here. We're down to 9:40. You got to get that ball in the end zone. You got to get those stakes moving right now. You can't turn it over, because this Chardon team can all of a sudden eat up 4 or 5 minutes on a drive. You know, and that's time that you can't afford to give up.
First down and 10. They hand it to Hewitt, and he gets near the 30-yard line. I don't know if you get a shot of it down at the other end here, Andy, to our right side where the Hilltopper band is, but they got a great seat tonight, sitting way down at the end. They got a roof over their head just in case it rains. And of course the banner right in front of them that you'll see later on, Go Chardon State in '98. That has been what they've been talking about all season long here, and we may be one step closer to that right now as you see Coach Bob Doyle on the sideline. Second down and 6. Hewitt into the defensive backfield again, rambles to the 40-yard line, and that is another first down.
Well, I'll tell you, that's 2 runs in a row. If you watch Hewitt, you're going to see both those hands covering that ball. It's kind of put your head down. All we're asking for is a 3-4 yard gain. Hold the ball. We want to eat clock, move chains. And that's exactly what they're doing right now.
Some of the faithful on the far side, very unfaithful. They're leaving. We can start to see some smattering of seats in the upper deck. First down and 10 for the Toppers as the clock continues to run. 8 minutes, 37 seconds to go. Hewitt again got a great block out front and gets almost a first down as he picks up 9.
Yeah, just a little bit shy up there. Again, they open up that lane. He is protecting that ball, something fierce though. Yeah. He's not looking for the big breakaway run. You know, that's academic. That clock is your best friend right now. We're down to 8:17. Every tick just kicks it off here. You can see Hewitt had that. So watch the right hand come back over that ball when he gets in the crowd. See that? Covering that ball up, making sure you keep the possession.
Second down and a yard. And they just keep, Davis is going to keep this one, and he will get back to the line of scrimmage. He is tripped up by Robert Jackson. So 7 minutes and 52 seconds remain in the ball game. I'm Craig Dees, joined by John Walsh, Tim Kelby down on the sidelines. Hope you're enjoying GTV's presentation of Chardon High School football. Our 5th year doing this, Mr. Walsh.
Yes, it
they
is.
keep asking us back. It's a beautiful thing. Best seat in the house. Red Jevnikar taking care of us every week in the booth.
That's right.
Does it get any better than this?
Well, as long as they keep winning, next week will be even better if they hold on to this one.
Hewitt doesn't get the first down as he just does get to the midfield stripe. They'll be about a half a yard shy of a first down. Just so you know, almost had divorce court in the house this week because we were supposed to be at Brooks and Dunn tonight and Reba. Well, my wife is there, and where am I? Following the Toppers down to Warren.
Now, honestly, where would you rather be?
Well,
I mean,
I am not going to answer that question on the grounds that I may incriminate myself.
A tape may go up to.
Tape may land its way to Perry.
You got to look at it. The 1998 state regional final, Chardon versus Eastlake, only happens once.
That's right, honey. I want to be on the highlight
Reba
tape.
will be back. Brooks and Dunn will be back.
Mackar to kick it on 4th and 1. Nice high kick. And
oops, bad bounce.
Real bad
Liverpool
bounce. Finally covered at the 33-yard line by Ben Chuha. So the Potters will get the football back.
With 6:23 to try to get the 3 scores they need.
Feeling pretty good about next week. How about you?
Yeah. I think, well, if you look up all the empty seats on the East Liverpool side, they've kind of realized that their season's over. It's kind of a shame. As much backing, the long trip, why wouldn't you ride it out? This is their first time into the playoffs. I can't see leaving early. You know, stay Well, tell the kids we're proud of you.
I think when you got 10,000 people dumping out onto a 2-lane highway,
well,
that has a little bit to do with it.
When it's your first time, though.
I agree with you, though. You're exactly. I mean, why come all the way out here if you're not going to watch the full thing? First down and 10. Brown throws, pass complete. Wide open is Rob Green. Where did he come from? And he gets pushed down at the 44-yard line. It was like magically he was there and nobody was near him.
Yeah. Yeah, that was. See if we can see a replay. He should be playing in this. Well, we won't be able to see exactly where he comes from. He should have been playing a wideout position, but how you get that open, again, I don't understand it either, Greg. Especially in this point in the game where you know it's going to be aired out.
They send Green and Jackson now as wideouts. First down and 10 at the 44-yard line of Chardon. That's Gino Williams in motion as Maurice Brown goes to throw. Throws it up, and it is incomplete.
Oh, okay, you couldn't see.
Makar on the coverage, Rob Green the intended receiver.
Yeah, that time he didn't appear. They had him well covered that time. There was no sneaking it as they had trips right, I believe. Yeah, this is one of those that they got to throw. They got to keep putting that thing. One, if you complete it, you get the bigger yardage out of a pass. Number two, if it's incomplete, you're stopping that clock, which is something that East Liverpool has to work for. But Maurice Brown doesn't pass that much. He's got a defense that just smells, you know, raw meat in front of them. They're going to be coming with their ears. Oops, a little bit of a jump.
Seth Francis went on one when a count was on two, and that'll cost East Liverpool 5 yards.
But this is a dangerous, and again, you know, it's a whole combination. Brown, not used to passing. You also got an offensive line that's not used to blocking for passing. So, you know, it's a dangerous situation for a quarterback. I don't envy him at all.
Now they bring Green and Jackson to the near side. Second down and 15. And they hand the ball to Ryan Roberts. And Roberts gets back to the 46-yard line. Bob Thayer has done a super job here at East Liverpool in a short amount of time. And one of his heartaches down in East Liverpool is the fact that most of the schools around him are Division III and Division IV. It's good football, they're good teams, but you just don't get the computer points that you need in order to make it into the playoffs, and that is why they've fallen short the last 2 years, barely. They did get in this year, and it looks like their season is going to end tonight, but it's a tough road to hoe for them just because of the competition that they're forced to play.
Yeah, you're going to have to do a lot of, boy, was that a quick.
Brown hit as he throws, and Chuha almost intercepts it. Pass intended for the left tackle, Seth Francis, or so it looked like. There was nobody near. I think he was really looking downfield for Robert Jackson, but because he got hit, just took too much off the ball.
Yeah, it was Mr. Brown meet Mr. Smith as Tim Smith came up the middle here and just laid a lick on him. Like I said, this is the area where this quarterback is, well, he got a good block there knocking Brian Smith off, but not brother Tim.
So a 4th down and 12, 5 minutes and 2 seconds remain in the ball game. Chardon with a commanding 24-6 lead. Another fabulous defensive evening for Chardon. And the big plays on offense certainly don't hurt. Brown fires it, passes going to be completed. Oh, he's incomplete. Dan may have dropped that on purpose, actually, to get the football back to the 46-yard line. Because he kind of juggled it and it looked like he might have just knocked it down.
Yeah, we won't be able to see. Our camera will be behind seeing about, but
roughing the passer's the call against Chardon, too.
Well, that could have been. Somebody was coming up behind. Nah, I don't.
No, he just
couldn't bring it in. They did get the roughing the passing call.
Yeah.
Well, you did see somebody, I couldn't see the number, but somebody coming up behind. He had a good solid 2 to 3 steps. And
yep.
I didn't see the hit afterwards. The camera didn't show it, but I'm assuming the hit was there.
Now, if you get 2 or 3 steps and you touch him at all, you should be flagged, you know. I mean, you've got time to hold up. So that'll be a first down for the Potters. So they will keep the football and they'll move it all the way down to the 31-yard line. coming up after the ball game. Hopefully we'll be able to track Bob Doyle down to see his assessment of the ball game. This is such an old traditional ballpark.
It's a nice stadium.
It's
just a big old high school.
And I think on the far side, those seats on the second level, I think those are fairly new with that press box over there as well. I think the original ballpark just was the white section.
This press box is new. I remember they had green boxes here when Chardon was in the playoffs back in '87, '88.
Brown throws to the end zone, intended for Jackson, but into double coverage. Scott Mackar was back with Dan Merritt.
Nobody wanted any part of that ball. Did you see that? Everybody backed away, threw their hands up.
There's a Chardon. There you see, if you have a big enough lead, they will leave. I think that's the name of that movie.
Well, it could be you're talking about you got to beat the crowd out or something, but I don't see many of the Chardon people that have left. Not like on the Liverpool side where a majority of their crowd is already out in the parking lot.
Scott Mackar.
Which is fine by me. That's quicker I can get out here. You know, empty it out.
So it's a first down and 25. And they hand the ball to Ryan Roberts, and Roberts gets, maybe we'll give him a yard, maybe 2. Clock continues to run. 4 minutes, 39 seconds to go in the ball game.
Yeah, this is kind of turned into a reverse drive for Liverpool here, eating up the clock, which again, like I said, is more Chardon favorable at this time. Yeah, I think they can start making their plans for next week's game. This one's well in hand.
So it's a second down and 23. Not a whole lot of plays in the playbook for that, I'll tell you. Maurice Brown to throw. Maurice hit as he throws and launches it deep. Mackar's going to pick it off. Scott's second interception of the night. Talked about the dangerous open field. Oh, he got whacked from behind. Man, that was a heck of a hit. And the hit by Robert Jackson. Jackson hits you hard enough in his linebacker position, but when he's got a full head of steam like that, it's even worse. So the Chardon Hilltoppers, with 4 minutes to go, have the football back and the lead. And the Chardon faithful up on their feet, and rightly so.
Yeah, we got 2 timeouts on each side. I can't see Chardon touching either one of theirs, and Liverpool's probably not going to be using theirs either. I think it's they realize this ball game's over. Heck of a season, one they'll always remember. This will be the season to remember. First time in the playoffs is always very special, and it should be. They're a fine football team.
Absolutely. Mitch Hewitt falls forward for 3 yards. 101 years of East Liverpool football, and this is the first time they make the playoffs. And again, local boy makes good as Bob Thayer comes back and takes the program to the next level. And your first time in the playoffs, you win your first game, which isn't bad either, and come up against a team that was ranked #1 in the state AP. They win the poll, so you're not playing a slouch either. No. So I think you're right. They can hold their heads high as they leave the ballpark tonight.
The truth is, the team they beat, and they beat them pretty good last week, Uniontown Lake, was definitely a quality football team. They were 9-1 on the regular season as Davis.
Ryan Davis to the 30. Jackson smacks him at the 15 and knocks him forward to the 14-yard line. Ryan Davis. Almost a 50-yard run.
I'd have to say, you take away Hewitt's 79-yard run, our long carrier in this game would be Davis.
Great blocking out front. There's Dakowitz.
Yeah, just daring somebody to try to touch his quarterback. Yeah, you get Dakowitz out there. Kyle Kaplan, the center, was out there blocking. They were just... they just pulled everybody and protect their quarterback all the way down to 15-yard line.
Under 3 minutes to go. Mitch Hewitt. The whole pile moves forward for 5 yards. Ryan Davis on the season carried the football 91 times for 384 yards, keeping in mind any time that he was sacked, if he was, counts as a negative rushing statistic. He had 3 touchdowns on the ground, and tonight he's got to have over 100 yards, or darn close.
Yeah, I would think so. He's had a big night. Like I said, he'd be the leading ball carrier in the game. I would be willing to bet if you took away that 79-yard run of Hewitt's. But I'd have to say Hewitt's probably the leading ground gainer.
And that's
though you add in Davis's passing yards, and he might be back in the total yard lead.
We talked about it last week, how he's not, I don't want to say he's not known for it, but he hasn't had to do it. But both games we've seen, as he keeps it again, Jackson collars him and brings him down at the 8. Both games we've seen Ryan Davis have to throw the football at times and has been absolutely on top of his game. He has put the ball right on the button 2 weeks in a row.
He's thrown a couple of beautiful passes today, and very timely ones when they needed to keep drives sustained and all. He's hit the open man. He had a big toss to Makar down to the 1 here. You know, he's done a job today.
Clock is running, excuse me, John. Minute and 38 to go.
Like
so 3rd down and 3.
Big players step up in the big games, and he's one of them that's definitely stepped up tonight, along with a lot of his teammates.
Hewitt, touchdown. Mitch Hewitt from 9 yards out. And Mitch with the hat trick tonight as he picks up touchdown number 3.
Well, this is one of those games that when either Mid-Park or Mayfield get the tape next week for playing Chardon, they're going to see a lot of different weapons. You know, it's going to be tough to defend. You can try to stop the Hewitt. You can try to stop the Makar in the pass or the run. Try to stop Davis. But it's tough to defend all of them.
The kick is up, and the kick is good, and a fine grab by one of the Chardon. No, that wasn't it. Just a ball boy. It looked like it was one of the band members dressed in red, but it was one of the ball boys, and you can see the Chardon Hilltoppers happy people. It's a 31-6 domination, really, of East Liverpool tonight. It was 7-0 back in the first half, or first quarter. Ryan Davis scored a 21-yard touchdown, and Scott Makar tacked on the extra point. And Chardon really hasn't looked back. We'll recap the rest of the scoring later on, but first let's go down to the field, and here's Tim.
Just a quick comment, Craig, that now with that last Chardon touchdown, this is the most points scored against East Liverpool this year.
And that is, again, when you do it in the playoffs, that's even more impressive, because it's such a big game and the intensity level has definitely notched up a little bit. And Chardon proven once again that they can run the football against anybody.
It's stepping it up in the second half. What did it? Because like you said, we had a 10-zip, and they just got the final 3 in the closing minute or so. So we had a tight ball game going. It was the second half. They just stepped up again. Last week, Dover never wore down because they had one two-way player. Liverpool's more your prototype. There's a lot of two-way players. It could be the wearing down factor because Chardon's definitely second half from the opening drive on. Offensively, they moved the ball extremely well, and that defense, just short of the one play, hasn't let down at all.
They continue to be a good second half team, and they don't show any signs of fatigue. And a lot of that is the off-season conditioning that these fellas put themselves through, and it's easier to get guys to do that sort of thing when you win. Makar's going to kick it out of bounds. Let's continue on with the scoring. As we said, Davis with a 21-yard touchdown run. Then Scott Makar drilled a 32-yard field goal with 4 seconds to go in the first half, and Chardon took a 10-0 lead into halftime. Only a minute and 51 seconds into the third quarter, Mitch Hewitt up the middle, 79 yards later. He's in the end zone. Makar's point after made it 17-0. But then it was a 93-yard touchdown run by Robert Jackson, and East Liverpool was on the board for the first time. Their point after failed, making it 17-6. And less than 4 minutes later, Mitch Hewitt with a 2-yard run with a nice Chardon drive down the field made it 24-6, and then you just saw Mitch Hewitt go in again from 9 yards out to make it 31-6, and that is where we stand right now. And the Potters are going to take time out. So it looks like some pottery is going to be coming in the direction of Mare Park.
That's what he said. He said after the state championship game, he wants to put some of that maple syrup in that little teapot and serve it to the players. That was a quote today in the paper.
I hope what he does is he takes that jug of syrup with him wherever we go, and I hope in week 4 he gets to take it back home with him again, because that would certainly be nice.
I was talking to
I think we should go to his house for pancakes after that. Don't you think? He's going to have all that syrup left over.
Sure, sure.
Why not? He'd love to have us. Come on.
We'll tell Gail that it was John's idea. He invited. We're knocking on his door at 6 in the morning.
Well, we'll give him at least till 7.
He might be happy to see me. He wouldn't be happy to see.
Well, nobody usually is.
No. We coached together for a couple years. I had a good time and coached about Alliance Club football in Chardon.
Well, Mayor Park, just let us know when breakfast is and we'll be there. East Liverpool starting to get some of the reserves into the ball game, give them a little playoff experience. That is Pat Murphy, number 25, into the ball game now.
Yeah, we started kicking some players out there, giving a lot of them a taste of playoff experience, because this, like you said, this game's, it's over. I mean, 31-6, 51 seconds and counting. Might as well give the kids a taste so they could always have that one little thing. I played in the regional final.
Mitch Hewitt came off to a standing ovation. And this time carrying the football for East Liverpool is Matt Schoolcraft, number 30. In at quarterback now for East Liverpool is Jason Duke. Jason is a senior. Jason Duke, excuse me.
No, that's the one thing.
Scott Macar now coming off.
Again, they're giving a hand, a well-deserved hand. A lot of these players deserve it, but, you get the glory, like the Macars, the Hewitts and all. They're obviously, an offensive lineman coming off should have a hand. It really should. And I'm sure Macar and Hewitt will be the first to tell you that those are the guys that should be stood up for. So, I'm not downgrading Hewitt or Macar by any means, because they're tremendous ball players, but you got the ones in a non-glory position that also should be in the glory position.
Why they play 11 on 11. So Chardon has advanced to the state semifinals with a 31-6 win over East Liverpool. I think a lot of people, John, coming in thought this might be a tad closer than this, but this Chardon football team, once they get on a roll, that the momentum that they carry from play to play even is just incredible. I mean, once they get on a roll, you can forget about it.
Well, the way they started out with that offense in the second half, there was no stopping them. That offense second half just came out with fire breathing out of their noses. There was you couldn't contain them.
And you see week in and week out the looseness of a Bob Doyle before the ball game, walking around, just, talking to everybody that wants a piece of Bob, and I think that reflects back on his team. They're ready to go, but once they strap on those chin straps and get into the game, the intensity level certainly goes up, and I think it's not a cockiness, but I think it's an understanding of we've got the capability to be very good, and we're going to go out and prove it every week.
One interesting little note, Coach Doyle said, before he got the Chardon position, what school he applied at for coaching?
East Liverpool.
East Liverpool. Isn't that incredible? Talk about small world department. Well, I never realized that. He told me that just before the game.
What we're going to do right now is we will suspend time for a minute or two, because they will be giving the regional championship trophy to Bob Doyle and his staff and his team. So we'll stop it right here, and as soon as they start that presentation, we'll pick you back up. 31-6, Chardon leads it. The state semifinals are next. Well, they are getting ready to award the trophy of regional runner-up to East Liverpool. And congratulations to Bob Thayer and his team. Really did a super job this season. It was nice to see them in the playoffs, and it was a game that we had been looking forward to. Let's see if we can go down to the field and pick up some of this presentation.
You've had a tremendous season. We know this is the first time you've advanced to the football tournament. You've had a fine tournament, a great victory last week, and seeing your team play tonight, I have the feeling we're going to see your team in the football tournament in future years. Coach, I'd like you and your captains to accept proudly the regional runner-up trophy for 1998 Division II. Congratulations. The Ohio High School Athletic Association has had a long and happy association with Warren City Schools. I'd like to thank Warren City, Tournament Manager Paul Trina, and everyone here at Warren for making this facility available for our tournament. We appreciate your cooperation.
During this decade, advancing in the football tournament has become as certain as snow in November in Chardon, Ohio.
Are we picking him up pretty loud and clear? Good.
You've got another great team. Good luck next week and the week after. Congratulations, 1998 regional champions.
We can get Timmy to grab Bobby right after this. Get him a quick message or two and then we'll get out of here. Okay, good. All right, John, take care. We'll see you next week, Kyle. Be good, listen to your father.
Okay, down here with Coach Bob Doyle, and boy, they just keep feeling better and better all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I think you saw a huge difference in intensity today, and even our players, our coaches mentioned before the game that they hadn't seen him like this for quite a while, so we knew. And, you know, it's like I told them, I slept like a baby last night. I wasn't worried. I mean, when you look at the intensity that we had it all week in practice and the way they played, I was pretty confident that they were going to play up to their abilities. And, you know, as I said before the game, I said, if we don't beat ourselves, I don't know who can.
Hey, you certainly didn't do it, beat yourselves tonight whatsoever, but the defense tonight was just phenomenal.
Yeah, except for one play we were, and you know, I was a little upset about that. I had just turned to talk to somebody, and before I knew it, he was going 93 yards for a touchdown. I was a little distressed about that, but we obviously made the adjustments and didn't let it happen again. But, you know, I thought it was a great effort by our kids. You know, we had great senior leadership, and, you know, it's just another outstanding effort all the way around.
Okay. Congratulations. Good luck next week.
Thank you very much.
Coach Bob Doyle, the Chardon Hilltoppers. Craig?
Thanks very much, Tim, and that's going to do it here from Mollenkopf Stadium, and another good night of Chardon Hilltopper football. Again, we may be back next week. You'll see the game somewhere, either on the public television station or right here on GTV. And if Chardon, I should say not if, but when Chardon advances, we will hopefully follow them down to Paul Brown Stadium as well. But before we leave you, we want to tell you about the great folks that help bring you this game each and every week, because without them, we would not be on the air today. We start with Connecticut Incorporated, Junction Auto Sales, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, 5 generations dedicated to honesty, dignity, and service since 1859. By the law firm of Newman, Leary, and Bryce. And by Clemson Excavating. Also thanks to these fine folks, Boswick's True Value Hardware and Chardon Dairy Queen, Chardon Square Auto Body, and Max Dugan's Restaurant and Lounge. Gary's Towing and Service for all your automotive needs, and Freeland Associates, Certified Public Accountants. Hodder's Lawn and Sport, Honda and Cub Cadet snow throwers are now in stock. Lawson Ford and Mercury. Chardon Metal Products, ISO 9002 certified. Rent-A-Wreck, cars, vans, and truck rentals. Hamden Building Products for all your building needs. Civic and Associates, certified public accountants and management consultants. A.J. Goulder Electric Company. Richard's Maple Products, gift packages year-round. Call for our free brochure. Skylar Painting, 285-5471, commercial, industrial, and residential. Midas Auto Systems, exhaust, brakes, suspension, and tires. Munson Corners Sunoco, Alvord Insurance Agency. Residence Artists, for all your painting and remodeling needs, Ayrshire Corporation. Chardon Auto Parts, for all your auto parts needs. Quay Buick, Buick stands for quality, and quality begins with QUA. Ken's Transport Incorporated, bulk haulers. Home and Business Storage, 204 5th Avenue and US 422 in Troy, 285-3653. The Maple Leaf Restaurant, 540 Water Street. Peterson and Eybold, attorneys at law. And by GTV, local public service programming for Burton Township, Burton Village, Chardon Township, Chardon Village, Hamden Township, and Middlefield Village. GTV, we're here for you, and we have been here, and hopefully we'll be back again. 31-6 is the final score once again from Mollenkopf Stadium. We should tell you that the producer of GTV's Chardon Hilltopper football is Dave Jevnikar. And the director is Andy Baldonado. For my partner, John the Dr. Walsh, for Tim Kelby, I'm Craig D saying so long from Mollenkopf Stadium. The final again, Chardon 31, East Liverpool 6. Take care, and we'll see you again on GTV.